Welcome, everybody, to Monday Night Stream. Or would it be Monday Night Dark?
What did you say? Monday Night Dreams?
Stream.
Oh.
Monday Night Streams. Here we go. Audio's good. Nice little house show ambush, if you will. But you're coming off a big weekend, so we had to do it. This is a big weekend here.
Big weekend behind us, big week ahead.
B Rose is in the house. What's up, B Rose?
Brian Rose!
Yes, the Geek Commander. Yeah, we're going to talk about, Brian's the one that shared the Last of Us trailer with us when we just watched it again to kind of get Mario caught up to that. So we got a lot of stuff going on tonight. We also are going to be talking about Don't Worry, Darling.
You saw it.
I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
After all the behind the scenes drama.
All the BTS, all the what is it, was it a crotch spit?
What's your take on Harry Styles' Spitgate?
I don't know if it was maybe it was method. Maybe when you watch the film, and this is going to be a spoiler stream for Don't Worry Darling, but when you watch it, you're going to realize, okay, there's supposed to be a little bit of heat there, and maybe that heat carried over. Maybe they went method with it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, there's that. And then what else are we going to talk about? Oh, we can talk about some beer. And we're going to talk about Saraya. Her name is Saraya. Don't say Saraya.
It's Saraya? I've been saying it wrong this whole time?
Well, what's his name said it first incorrectly. Excalibur, he said it Saraya. And she said Saraya, and then Twitter started getting all over her. Because she is Twitter loves...
Well, she's Twitch famous.
Yes, she's Twitch
outside of being a wrestler.
Yeah, she is. You watch her streams; they're good.
Yeah,
her Twitch streams are good. But they went all in on her, and then are like, "Oh, now you're telling me how to pronounce my name." But the big rumor is she or is she not gonna be wrestling for AEW, or is she just coming in like Mark Henry and the Big Show?
Well, was she not cleared to wrestle?
She was not cleared in WWE. Yeah, they definitely love to hate her, right? But she was not cleared to wrestle. She was forced into retirement, but so was Bryan Danielson.
Right.
And so was Edge, and they both got uncleared. No, they did get cleared.
Yeah.
They got re-cleared.
They got cleared.
They got re-cleared to wrestle. They just cleared.
They were unclear, and they got cleared.
That was unclear, now they're clear. So I think this is a huge get. This is going to... I said they needed to get Sasha Banks, and now it's looking like they're not going to get Sasha. So this is probably going to be just as equal of that impact, because that was a huge impact. It's all that everybody's talking about. Oh, there we are. Monday
I didn't mean to
Night
startle you
Dark.
there.
But we got some dark rye beer, because this
is barley
house
wine.
Show after. Oh yeah, it's barley wine. V.S.O.R is going to be the sponsor of House Show Dark tonight. It is brewed in I can't talk. Sweet Home Chicago. So yeah, it's rye ale aged in rye and bourbon barrels from everybody's favorite cousin Primo. It's brewed in Chicago. Revolution Brewing. Is it a coincidence that it looks like spider webs and a star, very similar to
See, put that in the close-up.
CM Punk markings? See if you can see.
Oh,
that there.
yeah, okay.
Has it got
I think Primo told me this is his favorite brewery.
CM Punk's or Primo's?
Primo's.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say CM Punk's the straight edge.
So it must be, yeah, maybe it is. Why not? Get on that CM Punk train.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is barley wine brewed in Chicago.
Yeah,
And if you're not a fan of barley, if you don't know what barley wine is, it's wine.
I got it in the shot here.
Yeah.
Right there next to it. So give it a little swizzle gimmick right there. It's good though. It's sweet. You know, it reminds me of one of those. This would be an Alamo Draft House drink because it feels like it has a very caffeine Choco coffee flavor to it. Not Choco Taco. R.I.P. Choco Taco. Very coffee flavor to it.
Yeah, you're a big fan of those alcoholic Alamo shakes.
I am, yeah. Them $5 milkshakes, but they actually have to have alcohol. Although I noticed, yeah, then they make them a lot smaller. It's like, I want the same shake I normally get, but put a lot of booze in it. Not just the little. It's like, oh, you want booze in it? We're going to give you the little rock glass instead. And I'm like, no. Flick's Brewhouse. I'm going to call you out on that. Brian B. Rose, you Geek Commander, you've been there. So after they did
Wait, they give you a smaller shake if you get
booze in it.
Booze in it?
Yeah.
That's
it's a small. It's a fancy.
That's not cool.
It's a fancier cup. I want the big one. But Flick's Brewhouse did it. They had a Harry Potter special if you went and saw the latest Fantastic Beast. And of course, you got to get a butter beer, and you got to get the alcoholic butter beer. And then it came in a little jar. And then after that special was over, now they all come in jars. I was like, wait a minute, you got freaking Rosie the robot driving around the hallways vacuuming, but then you're gonna give me a little jar of booze? Come on, man. Come on, man.
All right, yeah.
But it's still pretty tasty. So unrelated to this, you want to pull? Do you have any pictures to pull up for these guys?
Yeah, hold on.
Let's see.
Revolution Brewing. Let me pull that up.
I'm gonna do the gimmick glasses over the real glasses. So this is, dude, do you know this is, no wonder I feel all fired up. This is 15.4 alcohol.
Yeah, I told you. You wanted
joke.
tequila, we didn't have any. And I think that's just bad. You know, being a bad host on my part is not having tequila.
It's delicious though, but check this out. Into 2 years in premium rye whiskey barrels, the slightly sweeter blend of our rye wine oozes with malt-delivered complexities reminiscent of maple alongside enough oak to build a bedroom set. You like oak, Jimmy?
Oak's nice. Hey, what's it called?
It is called V.S.O.R.
V.S.O.R.
V.O.S.O.R. Yeah, V.S.O.R. Rye ale aged in rye and bourbon barrels.
Let's see. I've got to. Let's see.
That looks like it. That looks like another.
This is a
acronym
different
for the
one,
same
but
company.
this is a similar one.
Same jest.
This is a milk stout, though.
This is the very special old rye way, extended barrel aged to 2 years.
They got. It looks like they got.
I don't know, man. With Primo, you never know. I mean, he's got the inside track.
Yeah, he's got folks, you know, traversing the country, bringing home beers in suitcases for him.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. For all we know, this was a one-time. We could be drinking an extremely rare. We could be drinking an extremely rare barley wine that only existed in time.
Yeah, one time
for a week, and we're just drinking it here nonchalantly. But
yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Primo.
Yeah, Primo. There you go. Thank you very much. It's delicious. We've had some of his. We assumed it was bathtub beer. We just assume it's always this was made in a bathtub, right? I can taste that. But yeah, it's good stuff. But let's since this tastes like Alamo Draft House, let's jump right in. It's story time here at House Show After Dark. And if you do not know, Austin is a really, really busy time of year. Is this time of year, which is October, because you got usually F1, ACL's creeping up, but our favorite is here, Fantastic Fest. Fantastic Fest is always around this time, and it's always great. We haven't been.
Not always, Jimmy.
Yeah,
There were a couple years.
Well, yeah, there was a couple of years. Well, I thought last year was great because they had to do that.
I know. I was
they-
telling somebody about that. It was like we were having just a casual conversation. It was like I kind of liked it last year when you could just get seats on the app. And
Oh yeah, it was great.
you had like some space in between you and the seats. I mean, don't get me wrong. The vibe is strong this year.
Yeah.
The Musk is strong this year. The Fantastic Funk is back, and like that's not bearing them. I mean, that's just what it is, bro. You know what I mean?
I mean, when you the amount of people that you were showing me in there. Oh, did we lose our stream? No, there we are.
What happened?
Okay, no, I was watching along live and I saw it do the little flip gimmick. It could have been my laptop, but South Lamar, which is now basically the HQ for Alamo Drafthouse events, it's still not big, even though it's been built out.
No, it's smaller than it used to be.
Yeah,
It used to be bigger.
It feels like it's small. Okay, so I wasn't. They made the bars.
Did you ever go to the original South Lamar Fantastic Fest?
No, I've never
Okay,
been. I mean,
yeah.
I've been to the building, but I've never been there during a fantastic
it's
event.
well. You remember the old highball was way better.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a lot bigger. It had the bowling alleys. It had it had more character. It had a huge bar. And ever since they built it out, what are you typing?
Chat.
Ever since they built it out, they made everything smaller. So I'm not a fan. I mean, there was like so many. The original Fantastic Fest, so much activity going on in that parking lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, so there's parking lot events, but there's no parking lot event to have now. You have all the restaurants.
No,
and
no,
stuff
yeah.
outside.
There's nowhere to park. You used to have that big parking lot out in front of Alamo, so there was just all kinds of people wandering around out there. You'd have the back of the theater where everybody be getting high and stuff, and then you'd have like the smokers area, cigarette smokers area, and then you had sort of the in between walk between the highball was not connected to the Alamo.
Okay.
There was like a little bit of a walk.
That's right. I do
Yeah.
remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the other side. But it did. All the celebrities were still coming out. I was trying to pull up some of the pics that you were sending yesterday. So look, you want to start with some. So this was on. No, you didn't send it. Yes, the Chris Jericho sighting. That was Friday.
Did I send you a Chris Jericho picture?
You sent me a Chris Jericho sighting.
So yes,
Do
I
this
was hanging out. First of all, let me just say how I got a badge to Fantastic Fest.
Yeah,
World
oh
of
yeah.
Great Turn
Let's
Events.
talk about that. How did you? Because that is not an easy get or a cheap get.
It's not a cheap get. So what happened was actually a couple years ago, before the world kind of stopped for a little bit, they were doing midnight badges. And I was kind of working in the evenings at that time, and you got to go to the midnight movie every night. And it was a really cheap badge. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll just get that, because I used to get out of work at 10 when I was working for the search engine company. And like, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll get out of work and go see the midnight movie. Anyway, stuff happened. The world kind of shut down, and so I never canceled it and never got my money back. And so 2 years later, I get an email from Alamo Drafthouse, and they're like, "Hey, you have a Fantastic Fest badge." I was like, "Wow, okay, great." I was like, "We're not doing the Midnighters anymore, but here's a badge that'll get you 8 free screenings." I was like, "Oh, great!
Oh, sweet.
I'll take it."
Oh, I did not know that's how you got it.
Yeah.
I thought they got it because of the Oomph Cola.
Oh no, well that's the thing. It is partially because of that. Because of the Oomph Cola, they said they had sent over like a coupon code. There's like, here's 25% off when you book your next badge.
Oh wow!
So I was like, I might as well get one. Anyway, that's kind of how that happened. That shook out. So yes, in the midst of a lot of other things, I was like, I'm gonna roll down to Alamo and get my badge.
Well,
and went on Thursday, and it was hopping.
Yeah.
Hopping. And like they have put, when I say Fantastic Funk, I mean that on several fronts, because they have put a CBD shop right next to the Alamo Drafthouse now.
Okay.
It's like something botanicals. That's where you would pick up your badge. And just, that stuff. What is going on here? Siri, get out of here. It may not be the real McCoy, but it smells like the real McCoy. So it's like,
Just stay away from that Delta 8.
They got the Delta 9s.
Oh.
Anyways.
I never did the 9s.
So the scent is strong. So I was kind of just hanging out, walking around, and I was really just going to pick up my badge, but they were having the Smile premiere.
we got to talk about that. That reminds me.
Which I didn't. Actually, I'm going to show you this. Since I'm stepping.
Oh, you got a swag. Yeah, show the swag bag.
I got, like I said, they were having the Smile premiere. So they were giving out these Smile toothbrush kits. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Anyway, some other random items, but I wanted to show that. But like having the Smile premiere, and did you know the lead in Smile is Kevin Bacon's daughter?
No, I couldn't figure out why he was there because you had a Kevin Bacon sighting.
I spotted Kevin Bacon. So there's a fun fact: if you ever play that 6 Degrees game now, I got you.
You count. Yeah. That's right. You're in it.
So yeah, that's Kevin Bacon's daughter. I wasn't super. I was like, Smile comes out next week. I'm like, I'd rather watch something else.
Really?
So yeah, I'm just. I went for something else. I watched actually something called. Why is my camera out of focus? Okay, I watched something called I can't remember. The Five Devils.
Oh, okay. What's that one about?
I watched The Five Devils. That was about. It's a French time travel movie about a little girl who has a heightened sense of smell and time travels through using scents.
Oh, man. I like that. Well, I don't know why that has to do with the devil, but I like it.
It's a twist. The Five Devils is like the name of a place. But like anyway.
Oh, I got you.
Anyway, it was pretty good.
So Fantastic Fest, all the gist of all the films, that it has to be genre. It has to be sci-fi, horror, anything that's kind of twisty. It doesn't matter if it's...
What's up, Mike? Mike's on, yeah.
Mike, what's up,
The Five Devils, check it out. So anyway, genre, entertainment. They say, like Lucha Lotti was asking me if it's all horror. I was like, no, it's not all horror. It's just genre. Different things. But anyway, the girl in this movie, yeah, she basically has a heightened sense of smell, and she like saves these jars with specific scents, and like she can time travel back to certain moments in time through scent. It was interesting.
Wow. So somebody's like, you ever fart in a jar and keep it? And she's like, I got an idea.
I'll build me a time machine that runs on farts. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, we got out.
And you said it was French.
French, yeah.
Okay. So.
Got out of that movie, and they were having the opening night party, and I was like, I got to work tomorrow. I'm just going to hang out for a little bit. So I was on the fence. I was kind of like, maybe I'll go home, call it a night, right? I'm a responsible middle-aged man. So I'm doing that, and as I'm doing there, I'm kind of like checking my phone, and I look up, I see, one of those rented cars pull up. You could tell when it's a rented car.
Yeah.
Like solid black.
Oh, yeah.
Pulls up, and I see a wizard emerge.
A wizard?
And it's like, I was just like, looking up, and I was just like, who is, like, how sometimes you'll be like, it takes a second for your mind to register what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's Chris Jericho. That's Chris Jericho. And he was walking like he does on the show. He was walking like he was walking down the ramp on AEW. He had
he lives his gimmick, man.
Purple leather jacket. I wish I should have got a picture of his boots. They were like disco ball boots.
The boot
like that kind of a color. And I was like, and then I texted you. I was like, Chris Jericho. And like, here's the thing. Here's the funny part. It's like nobody noticed him at all. I think only me. And I was looking right at him, and I could tell he was like, don't make eye contact with this mark. You know what I mean? And I was like, should I say something? It's like, no, he doesn't. He's marching into the Alamo Draft House. He's going to do something.
Well, I had no idea he was in Terrifier too.
I didn't know either.
I did. I do have the pic that you sent for your on the socials here. Let's throw this up on the close-up cam.
Oh yeah, there's Chris Jericho hanging out at the Highball.
At the Highball.
That's the best shot I could get. Sorry, I wasn't gonna ask him for a take a photo. I didn't see him taking photos with anybody. So. That's
you do and well played. I mean, as far as like how the wrestlers go, you gotta gauge it. You can't say this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, because if he's not in photo mode, he's not gonna dig it.
Yeah, and like again, look at me. I look like a wrestling mark. And but mind you, a lot of people at Alamo Draft House this week look like wrestling marks.
Right.
It is a lot of fat guys in black t-shirts. And like there's a huge disparity. I don't know if I'm saying the right word. It's like
dispensary.
It's like yes, there's one of those two. It's fat guys in black t-shirts and beautiful actresses in one tiny movie theater for 8 days. But anyway, so I could tell he could tell. I knew he could tell. He could feel my look.
Yeah.
He wasn't making eye contact. I wasn't going to say anything, but I was just like, I just texted you. I was like, Chris Jericho just walked by. Uh-huh. So then I was like, what is he here for? And then you're the one that told me he was in Terrifier. And then went into the highball, saw him hanging out or whatever, and then I realized as like who's he? He's like he's talking to some actress. I couldn't tell who it was. Who is it? No, it's Darcy the Mail Girl.
Right.
This is night one. Kevin Bacon I had already seen an hour ago. So
he'd already passed through.
Yeah. He's with Darcy the Mail Girl from The Last Drive-In. I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. What a twofer. I don't know if she's in Terrifier. Is she in Terrifier?
No, she tweeted that she's going to see Terrifier because obviously that is her business.
Yeah.
Seeing those horror movies, but knowing that they just the week before they were in LA together at like a haunted house premiere too.
Okay, well let's not start any rumors here, but I'm just saying. They were there together, and that's all. That's all as far as I'll take it. But like
that picture you sent to her, she definitely did not want her picture taken.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
I felt bad. It was just kind of like one of those long. It's dark in there, so I had to get a long exposure. Let me see. I might have a video here. Well, anyway, I'll do that in a second. But anyway, that was night one. Hung out.
So Terrifier. Here's the thing. Let's jump over to Terrifier before we jump on real, because I'd never even seen Terrifier 1. What did I miss? Like I know it's a clown gimmick, right? Or it looks like he's a clown gimmick.
It's a killer clown gimmick, yeah.
It is a killer clown gimmick, but how did I miss this? Like when did it come out? Like did I feel like is this a Mandela effect? Like I jumped into a universe where Terrifier is awesome because I'm like I know killer clowns, I know Pennywise. Who the freak is Terrifier?
Yeah, it's killer clown. It's a classic killer clown. I did not see Terrifier 1.
Okay, so you didn't either. So Terrifier is the 2016 American slasher film written, co-produced, and directed by Damien Leone. The poster is great. It stars David Howard Thornton, Jenna Cannell, Samantha Scaffold, and other actors. Portrays the murderous Art the Clown, who hunts 3 young women played by Cannell, Scaffodelli, and Cochran on Halloween. It marks the second feature film appearance of Art the Clown after Leone's 2013 anthology film All Hallows Eve. Now that I do remember from 2013. It incorporated footage from the previous short films that were also directed by Leone and featured the character. The first one premiered at the Telluride Horror Show Film Festival in 2016 and got picked up by Dread Central Presents. So I had never seen it before.
I have never seen Terrifier either.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you really what it was about or what was going on.
Well, now 2 is out, and it's also written, directed, and produced by Damien. Sequel for Terrifier. It's the second film features the return of David Howard Thornton. Okay, yeah, I guess we don't want any spoilers just in case we do watch it. But, yeah, Jericho he did appear in that, and then
like if Mike's comment, since it was Jericho, I had been thinking Terrifier in my head because that is his brand of cheesy. But Terrifier is a dope series. Art the Clown is great. Oh, okay.
Art. Okay, yeah.
I sent you some videos to your phone so you could put them on the close-up cam. But I got a couple of videos of the opening night. It was super cool, and I sent you that one of the hot dog machine.
Yes,
you should show that one. They had an interesting hot dog machine that was cooking hot dogs.
All right, let's put this on the close-up gimmick here.
Turn your phone sideways.
Excuse me. Oomph. There we go. Glare. Dude, that is packed. That's the highball?
Yeah. Pull it closer to your laptop. There you go. Yeah. So that was the opening night party. It was wild in there, and they had.
Oh, someone's just said someone's wearing a mask.
There's plenty of masks. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if this was Is this the frying hot dog?
No. I sent you the hot dog one the other day. That was another. That was Play that one though. That was stuff.
Oh, I know what this one is.
That was like stuff floating around at the.
So my friend from the kickboxing gym, she worked the bar that night, and she was talking about. Let me see if it'll let me go sideways. Yeah, but it'll make it smaller. Demon Sperm.
So they had a band there called Ichio, and they do all this crazy. I don't even know how to describe them. They're sort of like a mobile band. They've got instruments on their back, and they do a lot of percussion. And they've got all these wild things floating around.
That's awesome.
But it was super cool.
All right, then that's the second, the Demon Sperm one again. So it wasn't a tie-in to a movie. It was
it was just a band.
Okay.
There was a Smile party,
dude,
earlier.
All right, let's talk about Smile real quick, and Mike, you're still there. I think you appreciate this. Did you notice that Smile is going viral in the sense now that you have people showing up on like, what's the show that morning show that has like Al Roker where people stand in the glass to be shown?
Good Morning America?
Yeah. So now they had a girl in there like doing the Smile gimmick. And then on baseball, the camera guy like zoomed in and they had a girl just smile. I got to pull these pictures up. But it's going viral, and I was like, do you think they planned this? We were talking about, it's a shoot show, right? We're after dark. We're talking about shitty social media managers, right? The ones that have some bad ideas.
Yeah.
And this idea is turning out so well, I'm starting to wonder if it's a happy accident or if they planned this. So I got a couple. So this was spotted at the baseball game yesterday. Check that out. Is it too much of a glare? Look at that girl. Why is there a glare? I don't know if it's because of the picture.
I can't tell, but you can see it.
Let's try it. Try it on this one.
Yeah.
Look at her, and she was
hold it closer to you.
She was behind home plate the entire time, with like that.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then they had another completely. Oh, here's the Al Roker one. Let's get a zoom.
Well, I'm sure Mike can weigh in on this. It's pretty cheap to just pay somebody $100 to go to the baseball game and smile.
Check that out. Let's see if that was behind Al Roker, and she just stood there smiling like that.
Are these TV screen grabs or what?
Yeah, there's TV screen grabs. Here's another one. This is a different baseball game. This was at the Yankee game. Oh, I don't know why it's glaring on these pictures. I guess because they're TV grabs. But yeah, it's on our. Check it out. It's on our Twitter. But man, it's like, how happy of an accident can you get that now people are just going to do the stare at a camera gimmick for the movie, and you know it's related to the movie. I was already psyched to see the movie. Now I'm extra psyched because we were talking about this.
Mike knows what's up. Probably a low-budget viral marketing firm. No way they're all front row otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's just like we're going to pay you to look, and just like you got to get booked because you looked extra creepy.
Here's a ticket to Good Morning America. Just go there and smile. Here's $100 and a gift card to Chipotle.
And we were talking to JJ last week about how this is the future of entertainment, and him and Mike were sharing some great why aren't you watching these YouTube channels, but it just had that same vibe. Like, what if you just had 10 hours of this girl, like, person just staring at the screen, like smiling like that? So I like the premise of the gimmick. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know, because we just came off, Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker, and playing the Smile song. But then the more I kept seeing the trailer and I saw it today again, I was like, okay, I'm in on this movie. This is a Saturday night special for sure. So
I wasn't super into it. It looked corny to me. I don't know. It feels like a little takeoff on the Ring, and I don't know. I didn't get a good vibe from it. The reviews were decent. I think people were digging it.
Reviews. Yeah, it's got the Ring. It follows. It reminds me more of It Follows, right? Where instead of an STD, it's a smile disease.
I guess something like that.
But that was also Thursday night, right?
That was Thursday night, and there was a Smile party which I couldn't get into that was happening beforehand. But that was the opening night movie with Smile.
You should have just stood at the door and smiled. And they would have thought you were part of the gimmick.
It was funny because I was just like, I was trying to walk into the highball and they were setting up the smile party. And I was like, I asked the lady at the booth there, I was like, do you know where I get my badge? He's like, oh yeah, go to the fake weed shop and get your badge. I was like, okay.
Fake weed shop.
And then I was like, okay. And I went to the fake weed shop and came back with badge. It's like, I got my badge. I was like, okay, this is the smile party. And it was like, are you RSVP? No, get the fuck out.
So that's awesome. And that's night one. That is only night one, which is a Thursday night.
Night one was hopping, man. Like, I mean, night one I think is always hopping.
Yeah. So to have two big premieres like that, that's a Thursday, Thursday thick of it, whatever you want to call it. So Friday, night two.
Friday night two. Of course, I mean, I did. Now, mind you,
night two.
Alamo Drafthouse goes on all day. It's not just at night.
Right.
It starts at 11 a.m. and it goes all day long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not just an evening. If you go to
got it.
If you go to Fantastic Fest and you put in the time, it's just like you can see movies from 11 a.m. till midnight. So you could see 5-6 movies a day. That's how much stuff.
So that badge is unlimited.
If you get a regular badge. I just had that 8 tickets.
8-1. Okay.
Yeah. But if you get a regular badge, you're in all day, all night, all the time.
Button-a-thon style.
Yeah, I mean, as many as you can squeeze in. What happened? Now I'm drawing a blank. Day two was day two I saw 2 movies. It was I'm just like blanking out. Sorry.
It wasn't VHS night.
That was last night. It was I saw Kids versus Aliens.
That was it. Kid versus Alien. That was an 11 p.m. show. Or
that was the midnight movie.
How was that? What was that about? Kid versus Alien?
Yeah, Jason Eisner, right?
Yep.
So it's Jason Eisner's first feature in a while. He's been been doing Dark Side for a little bit. But yeah, his first movie in a while. It's pretty much.
Wait, that's the same guy? He does Dark Side?
Yeah, Jason Eisner, the guy who did Hobo with a Shotgun.
He does Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah.
What?
You didn't know this?
No.
We've talked about this show 100 times.
I know. What?
Yes.
Are you serious?
The director of Hobo with a Shotgun does Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah.
What?
How did you not know that? I know I've brought it up before. Anyway,
the hell?
This was his first movie in a while. It's basically an expansion of his segment from VHS 2.
Slumber Party Alien Abduction.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
It's basically an expansion of that. It'll be on Shudder. Shudder already acquired it.
Next week, right? It's like coming up quick.
I don't know when. Maybe it's going to be that secret screening.
Oh yes, next Saturday we got to plug that. 10
but they have it.
Eastern. They
have it acquired. It's getting put on there. So yeah, I mean, this movie was sold out completely. Was fortunate to get a seat. Super short, 70-minute feature.
70, huh?
Which is okay. I don't mind a short feature.
Yeah,
make them shorter. That's okay with me.
Yeah.
My review is it's got a strong final 20 minutes. I would say it's I would give it if I'm gonna give it emoji face, just kind of like
there it is.
that would be the emoji face, because it's got a really, I mean, he's got a really strong visual style, and he's great with action, and he's great with violence and gore and all that stuff. It's got a lot of build up to a really strong final act. So I'll just say that without giving you any spoilers. I think that if you watch it, you're going to enjoy it. There's pro wrestling stuff in it.
Is there?
There's aliens. There's high school parties. It's got a lot of good stuff. I don't know that it all gels in the end, but
he hits all the notes.
It's short enough where you'll be like, okay, that was all right. I don't think
it's that sounds like the kind of film that you would see at midnight, though.
Yeah,
and you're gonna enjoy it. And did the crowd pop?
The crowd popped at certain parts, but for a shoot at the end of the movie, they were pretty quiet.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if that was, maybe everybody's tired. It's 1:30 in the morning by that point. So
yeah.
But I mean, it had a great introduction. The cast was there. Jason Eisner was in the theater doing cartwheels.
Was he?
Yeah, for a shoot. He's doing cartwheels.
Where the hell? I still can't believe this guy is the same guy from Dark Side of the Ring. I'm so confused. Yeah. And he's Canadian?
He's Canadian, man.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it was. God, I cannot remember for the life of me. I have to pull up my thing to see what I saw before that. But anyway, Kids
That's
versus
why
Aliens.
I still go to Flickster or Rotten Tomatoes, and I rate the movie just actually not because I want to give my rating, but more just so I can remember that I've seen this movie, just to go back.
Oh, the other movie I saw was called Hazard, and this was Hazard, except the A's are number 4s. I don't know why.
Is it part 4?
Huh?
Is it Hazard part 4?
This was just like this was like the guys. It's basically kind of a Swedish car movie, like it's all about this dude who like has a super awesome car. He lives in in Finland or Denmark or something. I'm terrible. I think it's Denmark. Anyway, he's got an awesome car. You know, I think the story's pretty cliched. His buddy gets out of jail. Says, like, help me do this one job with your awesome car, and then you can finally take care of your girlfriend and your baby. And it's like, okay, let's do it. And of course, it doesn't go as they planned. And it's a fun movie. It's fast paced. They're in the car, lots of driving stuff, lots of action.
I'm ready to go make a film right now, man.
Yeah, Hazard.
What's your Hazard face?
Hazard was just like. I'll do it. I think Hazard is going to be. Hazard will be enjoyable if it turns up. It's another good short 80-minute movie, and I can appreciate that.
I'm all for that. I especially when we talk about Don't Worry Darling, that's one of my notes. Like, you know, just drag the gimmick on a little bit too long. But and now with all these movies, obviously some of them already have distributors and some of them don't. Like this is, or can you become the Sundance Kid and get discovered at Fantastic Fest, or are they already pretty much spoken for?
Generally, by this point, a lot of these movies have distribution coming, and because Fantastic Fest is part of a chain of festivals. There's the Fantastic Circuit. There's like 5 or 6 of them throughout the world.
What? I didn't know that either.
Bro, I was texting you last night after. We'll get into this. This story is going to go long. Okay, the Fantastic Fest, but yeah, there's like a whole series of them, and most of these films kind of go. They don't go to every single one, but they do the Fantastic Festival circuit.
Oh, okay. So, and they're all just genre ones. Does it travel all the Alamos, or it could be anywhere?
Not Alamos, just like different festivals throughout the world. Genre festivals.
Because this isn't related to Draft House Films, right? Draft House Films is more of just like their distribution wing if they choose to get it versus Fantastic Fest.
No, yeah, Draft House Films is another thing, which I don't even know if that exists anymore. I think it has become Neon.
Oh, yeah, it might be Neon.
And I think that is actually the creator of Alamo Draft House, Tim League. That's his distribution company.
Okay.
So it's not. Yeah, it's a separate entity, and I think Fantastic Fest is also a separate entity. Legal stuff.
Yes,
how that all goes.
So this was Friday night. So I feel like the bigger films played on Thursday night, which was opening night, right?
Well, yeah, they have a big opening night film. They got a big closing night film. I think. Oh, the movie that I did not see on Friday was The Menu. That was the big movie.
Oh, you got to see The Menu?
No, I didn't see.
Oh, you didn't see.
I skipped. I don't go in for the movies that are coming out in theaters in a week. I can't convince myself to do it. I'm just like, I'm at this festival where they're playing hundreds of movies from around the world. I don't want to see a movie that's going to play at AMC
that you're going to be able to see. Yeah. And I think Menus gets a wide release in November, or at least somewhat of a bigger release.
Yeah.
The Ralph Fiennes one, right? That looks like.
I think it comes out at the end of the month.
It reminds me of Turkey Shoot. Remember Escape 2000? Yeah. It had that little bit of vibe, but Gordon Ramsay meets Turkey Shoot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reviews were good. But that was the big movie. Saturday I did not go. I had some other stuff I had to take care of. So I went last night and I thought to myself, I do my service on Sunday morning, and I thought I'm going to spend the rest of the day at Fantastic Fest and watch like 5 movies. I didn't do it. So by the end of the day, I was like, okay, I'm in for 2. Let's go for 2. But I was like, I'm going to show up a little bit early because they were having the Chaos Reigns karaoke, which is the Fantastic Fest karaoke.
Oh man, yeah,
which
that's like
As I told you in text form, Fantastic Fest brings out the karaoke elites.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like what the one you sent me with the squirrel heads.
Yeah.
Those guys. What was it? What was their film called?
Their movie's called 100 Beavers.
100 Beavers.
Maybe they're watching now. We'll put it over eventually, but it's playing at the festival on the virtual Fantastic Fest virtual.
Oh, I did get the email for that too.
Yeah.
So they are a hybrid event as well. So they did keep their virtual side and then had their IRL.
Well, now I
playoff.
think now that IRL is back, they just said, "Hey, this works too, so let's do this."
They're
as well.
going to do both, right?
Yeah, I like money though.
Yeah. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You made it so easy for a lot of people who can't be here. But I think, like most festivals, they are going to reward you if you come in person. Like, you still get to be a part of it, but if you are there live, you got to get the perks of being there live.
Look, I'm sorry, and I can't. I was telling you this last night because I had a few whiskeys to work up to the Fantastic Karaoke, which you have to go next time. I will not accept no for an answer.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I mean, that's it. I feel like it's a big Halloween. It's like my last Halloween. My son at home. I was like next year he's gonna be in college, and it's gonna be the spooky season, and I feel like I'm gonna have to go to Fantastic Fest to fill a void.
Yeah,
There will be a void, and it'll be filled, and we will fill it with microphone stages, and let it rip, and good films.
I saw many a YouTube blogger there.
Yeah, I feel like that they are the new Siskel and Eberts, right? It's
Pretty
us.
much.
Are we it? Are we the new Siskel and Eberts?
I mean, we might be at least a version. We're more like those guys in the balcony on the Muppet Show. But,
Statler and Waldorf.
but like, I think that I saw a couple of YouTubers, and I wanted to talk to them, but I just didn't get really a chance. And a couple of them had masks on. I was like, okay, good form. I understand.
Lucha mask?
No,
really?
pandemic masks.
Sure, where our mind's at.
But I saw, Chris Stuckman.
No.
He's pretty big on YouTube. I saw just a couple. Like I said, I saw many folks I half recognized on Twitter.
That's awesome.
From Twitter. But one thing I missed, but I did. This is on Sunday. I did. They were having after VHS. I saw VHS 99, which is awesome.
Well, we got to see 94 is what we got to see last year there at Fantastic Fest. So
this one might be better.
Whoa. Whoa, really?
They keep getting better.
I'm psyched for it because last year, I mean, that 94 was pretty baller.
I think this one might be better. Now, I don't know. Like I said, had quite a few Maker's Mark, and like you could tell I was in a good mood because I went to the movie. I was at Alamo and I ordered candy. I just wrote candy on the paper, and they were like, "What candy do you want?" The guy came out and was like, "What candy do you want?"
Bring me candy.
Yeah, it might be the best one. It's none
of the same directors.
No, all new directors, and the vignettes are just done in a way. It's hard to explain without spoiling it because I don't want to tell you what the stories are. But they're very inventive in the way they're done. There is one about, and this is not a spoiler. The short, basically, imagine you get transported to hell with a VHS camera.
Oh shit! I want to go. I mean, not to hell. I want to see the movie.
You get sent to hell and you have a VHS camera. How is that going to play out? That was a good one. I think there's one about. I don't know if you have, but the shirt I gave you there.
Oh yeah, let's pull that out.
That is in reference to one of the vignettes. What was it? It's called Ozzy's Dungeon, right? Ozzy's Dungeon.
It's over there. I'll have to pull that.
No worries.
Ozzy's Dungeon.
Yeah, imagine, and that one is like. Imagine you went to Double Dare and you lost and you could not get over it. That's kind of what that is.
Oh, that's great.
There's one about a band that's really good, and then the sort of the glue that interweaves the stories.
Oh yeah, what about the rapper? Is it the same story as last year? The same rapper?
No,
different rapper.
The rapper is somebody's. The rapper is like a stop motion short film with toy soldiers, the little green guys.
Oh,
that's the rapper.
That sounds great.
So it's like it's yeah, I don't know how they keep, like, I remember VHS came out and I was like, great. VHS 2 came out. I was like, oh, that's really good too. But then I was kind of lost interest. But now they've kind of ramped up again. The last two have been amazing.
Yeah.
This one may be the best one. I think that segment from last year's with the vampire blood.
Yeah.
The Megas and the vampire blood.
Yes.
Was my favorite. But this one may top last year's.
Really?
So there you go. Also going to be on Shudder.
Yeah, and I believe next week or the secret screening if we know it. I did not know Bloody Disgusting was one of the production companies. So it is a found footage horror anthology. It's the 5th installment of the VHS film series. Features segments from Johannes Roberts, Vanessa and Joseph Winter, Maggie Levin, Tyler McIntyre, and the Flying Lotus. All right, I like it. And Bloody Disgusting, just for synopsis, said, a thirsty teenager's home video leads to a series of horrifying revelations.
Oh, and that's another... Oh, I can't tell you what happens in that one. There is another one. One of the segments is sort of a horny teenager with a hot neighbor, filming the hot neighbor through the window, and that's the setup, and I'll just let you watch it. Because where it goes, you will not predict.
Oh, well. Oh, here we go. Yeah, breaking news right here on House Show After Dark. It premiered September 16th in the Midnight Madness category at the 2022 TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival. Its U.S. debut will be at Fantastic Fest before a wide release on October 20th, 2022 on Shudder.
I was there.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
And the filmmakers came out, the producers, they look awesome. I would have liked to talk to them. Obviously, the producer of VHS was there with, like, I think he had no shirt and a denim vest and just looked awesome. I was like, that's the filmmaker I want to be when I grow up. But it's good. You'll enjoy it. It played against the secret screening, which turned out to be Werewolf by Night.
Oh, we do have that poster here.
Apparently, Werewolf by Night got over. Folks dug it.
Here it is.
Yeah. Lots of neat swag floating around. They don't overdo it with the swag. It's always limited release. So
yeah, that's just actually a nice looking poster. It has that kind of dark, gritty feel that they're going for. Because the rumor is, and this is dropping October 7th on Disney as part of a Halloween special on Disney Plus,
right?
With the Wanda Vision Halloween episode, but they're saying this one is really violent for Disney Plus. Like, there are people that are really surprised on how violent it is.
That's weird because it looks goofy as hell. But I mean, people apparently really liked it.
Well, I mean, he's a werewolf, so he's got to be like, I didn't mean to call you Meatloaf, Jack. But at the same time, he's going to be as part of a superhero team up. Yeah. So how violent can he get? But Punisher gets pretty violent too. So yeah. But yeah, I think I would have probably went, I don't know, it could have been different. It's seeing that on the big screen could have been cool, but they were sold out anyway, right?
Yeah, I was trying to get into the secret screening, but yeah, that was pretty sold out.
I didn't even know about secret screenings until you told me about secret screenings. So before we jump off VHS, we need your VHS 99 review face.
VHS 99 review face would be like something like that.
All right, gotta get that face. And then the coup de grace. And this, if you were on our social medias today, you had the brush with greatness, if you will, the run-in right there on the close-up gimmick. Oops. I'm no David Letterman when it comes to like holding something over a desk.
Here, let me use technology here for a second, and we'll do it this way.
Because for a while when you first showed me this picture, I was like, oh, there it is. I thought she was holding a spear. I had no idea it was like a shawala or one of those like floor wipe things.
Right. This is Miss Gigi Saul Guerrero, up-and-coming Latina director, who's just doing everything. Anyway, she's holding a Swiffer here. You know why?
Is that something to do with her film?
No. She actually was in the most popular Swiffer commercial of all time.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. Let's see if I can... Let's see if I can make this. Let's see if I can do this thing. Technology's always good. Yeah, there we go.
I admit, ever since I got this little guy, I struggled with this big mess.
So she got over in a Swiffer commercial 4 years ago.
Then I got my paws on Swiffer's.
Yeah.
But then she became like the queen of like the next up and coming.
She does
horror.
acting. She does voiceovers. She does it all, man.
I know she's a talking head on the 101 scariest horror moments of all time.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear about her until you. I think it was like 2 years ago you told me about something she did.
Well, I sent you her short. She did that wrestling short.
Yes, that was it. So she's a Mexican filmmaker and actress, gained recognition by creating and directing the 2017 horror web series La Quinceañera. In 2019, she directed episodes.
I didn't know she did that one.
That was her first one, and then she directed episodes of The Purge and the horror anthology series Into the Dark. She is praised as one of the top emerging directors of the horror genre by Empire, Dread Central, Bloody Disgusting. Creators Come and Variety describes her as part of the new wave of Latino talent. Sign me up. I want to get booked on to be in one of her movies.
Just awesome and just a stunning lady to behold in person. But it gets even better. So I've told you about. I was not there for this. Obviously, her film was premiering that night. They had a little get together beforehand. They missed out on swag because I was in VHS, which would have been cool. They had cool swag. Her movie's called Satanic Hispanics.
Oh, that was,
But
what a great title!
before we get to that, I haven't told you about this. So I told you that I told you how Fantastic Fest does the debates with boxing.
Oh yeah.
Well, they did that, and she was actually in it in the boxing debate. I don't know who she debated. I haven't seen any videos of it. Whatever.
Wait, she boxed last night?
Yeah, no, the night before.
What?
Yes. And not only did she box, okay, because basically I told you the format is they will basically debate and then they have a boxing match after the two debaters. That's how it goes. So not only did she debate and box, but she came out in a lucha gimmick for the match.
Oh, come on. How do I work for her?
Yeah.
If you're watching, please hire us. Of whatever you need, we'll get it done. We'll be your fixers, if you will.
We'll be your Cliff Booths.
Yeah, yeah.
House in the Hollywood Hills.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think I'd do that. I think I'd be Cliff.
That's a great movie. Shout out to Stars. They keep playing it and it keeps me happy.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, she came out in the loot. I didn't see any of this, mind you. There's too much at Fantastic Fest to see. You really got to if you want to experience everything, you have to take the week off.
How is this not in like a gigantic like convention center? It's amazing. They cram it all in of the best Alamo that's left, but there's just not a lot of space there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was even impressed when we saw season 2 premiere of Cobra Kai, and you're like, oh, they're going to be shown it in highball, and how many people they managed to still squeeze in there.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, that's the same stage that we karaoke it up, man.
Yeah.
So all in all, though, it sounds like it was, and there's a couple more nights. So
there's
time.
more. I'm not going to be able to get back there. Fortunately, the pizza business never stops, and just like but like I'm not going to make it back. It's still going on till Thursday. Who knows what could happen? Still, I'm sure if we looked on Twitter right now, there's probably stuff going on that we're going to be shocked is happening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did leave the hashtag gimmick there, checking it out to see if anything was popping tonight.
There's still another secret screening. I think the closing night movie is it's another one that I kind of wanted to see. It's the one about it's like about a cruise ship.
Oh, yes.
And everybody gets poisoned or something.
What Woody Harrelson.
That one.
Yeah.
That's the closing night movie. Yeah.
I mean, now I got to look it up.
I can't think of the name. But just a crazy thing. It's wild that
did it always have like what I would Triangle of Sadness is the movie you're thinking
Triangle
of.
of Sadness.
But like, did they always have like I feel like they didn't start off with mainstream. And then they made movies mainstream, and then these ones that, although you wouldn't, I mean, Triangle Sadness, if you watch it, it has a very independent spirit to it, right?
Yeah, but I think it's like an A24 movie, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a genre piece. It's something, it's not, it's not Top Gun.
Yeah. Mike, I did give Mario your Top Gun review, and we talked all about what we talked about the other night. But
I agree, Mike. I don't know what people are into it, why people are so into it.
Yeah. It's the number 4 or number 3 of all time now. I was like, now I just need to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, just calm down a little bit. It was good. I would accept it. Like, sometimes I get personally insulted when movies are, like, in the top 5 of all time. And you're like, really? What? No, come on.
For a shoot, I could not stay till the end. I was like, this is so lame. It's just,
and I've seen you walk out of movies that are good, which
Yeah.
is I still tell people to this day.
I was just like telling the Alamo lady, can you just go ahead and ring up my onion rings now? I don't think I'm gonna make it through this movie. It just, and then when the scene where they do the playing tag football on the beach, what the hell is that, man? Like, what is this movie?
It's gonna be the same. It's just gonna be the same thing with the vibe, but it's gonna be a different ball. That's it. It was just
right.
like, what?
That's a short right there. You just made a YouTube short. But like, yeah, I wasn't into it. And then it's got like Jennifer Connelly's in it, and he's just like, I mean, I don't know. Just a lot of it just didn't work for me, and I don't know. The whole Goose's son, I don't know. Just it didn't work. And like I revisited the old one, and I didn't like that either.
Well, Ryan, shout out.
I'm just like,
to,
this is not good either.
Shout out to Ryan Airy, Screen Crush. He did his spoiler reviews are great, but he has a sock puppet that comes in every once in a while. And he's like, excuse me, can you tell me where to find the original Top Gun? It's right over there in the section that doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, if you had any Tom Cruise movie to pick that you want to see a sequel to, what would it be?
Risky Business.
Risky Business? I was going to say Losing It for me. Do you want to take your mother to the gangbang? Oh, yes, you do. Tuck and Roll. So much good stuff. You had Kelly Leak in there.
Yeah.
Jackie Earl. Man, it was so good.
Yeah. It didn't. Top Gun, I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I don't think the original works. I think that movie just got over because it was just one of the first mass-produced tapes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you're
and
right.
Everybody had it.
That was a VHS phenomenon there. So, yeah, I don't know how we got on that.
I think you could get that one at McDonald's with an extra value meal.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate it, and I enjoyed it, but come on. Like, it's up there now with, like, even now, like Avatar. I mean, at first people are like, oh, I can't believe James Cameron is but I mean, he invented cameras to make this movie, so you gotta appreciate it, right? But
Yeah.
like, what did they do? Like, what did they earn to get this value on Top Gun 2?
I don't know. I think that what's weird? My shot's freaking me out. They keep talking about how it's so awesome. They were actually flying planes and doing all these things in real time. And it's just like, yeah, but it's just a camera in a cockpit in a tiny room. And like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's real, but it's also easy. That would have been very easy to just fake that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. It's very, very fakeable. Although he doesn't, I guess he's the America's Jackie Chan, right? He does his own stunts. He's the guy that ties himself to the side of the plane.
Yeah.
I feel like he was in trouble for a long time. And I have personal heat with Tom Cruise because...
Why do you have heat with Tom Cruise? What did he ever do to you?
Because I wanted to see the monster universe, the original Universal monsters, and they were going to start doing that. And they put him in The Mummy, and he already had so much personal heat that... Not that the movie was that good, but I feel like it killed it right there on the spot, right? Now, maybe it wouldn't have lasted because they had Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I was ready to see those original monsters. I want to see Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. That's what we're all leading up to. Modern day version of that. Let's put Tom Cruise in the Mummy movie because that Mummy was hot. She was good. But You should have stuck with Brendan Fraser, man.
Well, that movie was doomed when they released the trailer with no music or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
And it was just Tom Cruise screaming.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man.
So that was pretty much the end of that one. But how did we get on this? I forgot what we were talking about.
How did we get on this dirt road? I think
Anyway, Fantastic Fest is great. Check it out.
yeah, do a Fantastic Fest.
And
face.
next year, I will not accept no finance. Need you to be there. Need you to go. We'll do.
Do we
coverage.
get our, how do we get our name on the banner? Could we get our name on the banner
I
too?
mean, I just got to give them some money. I mean,
You guys take money?
yeah, they just take money. If we give them enough money, they'll put our name on the banner. We'll be in the pre-show bumper. We'll be in the pre-show. By the way, they had only one bumper this year.
Really?
And it was a sponsored bumper. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because that was our first fray. We got it with the bumper contest. There's no bumper contest this year.
No bumper contest. Nothing. They had one bumper. It was sponsored by a mattress company, which was strange. There was a mattress company had a big display in the center of the lobby there.
Really?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Just one last note, and then again, this is not to disparage anybody or anybody's habits, but man, it gets funky in there.
Fantastic.
Folks watching movies all day, eating cheese fries and hot wings all day. Gets funky in there, man.
Yeah.
So anyway,
movies aren't known for their circulating air.
They're not known for their circulating air, their ventilation.
Yeah.
And you got, lots of fat dudes in black t-shirts having nachos all day. Things get sweaty. It just happens. But no heat. I got no heat.
No heat at all. But let's on the karaoke side. Was it a contest or were just people like, I'm not competing, but were we competing?
It's always a competition, sir.
Right.
But no, there was no competition. It was because they have stuff in the highball all the time. It's not like it's just they're open for drinks. They're having, they'll have special screenings in there. They'll have podcast recordings. They'll have different, like movies will have an event before their movie or after. So there's always activity in there. And also that's where, the highball, the back room, that back room that's kind of like an open area.
Yep.
That was like the celebrity wing where they usher the celebrities in there to hide away.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, this was just they do karaoke at least once every Fantastic Fest where they take over the main stage and just let it rip.
Yeah, and they did.
Yeah.
That stuff you sent me was really good. And you don't think they'll ever get to the point where they branch out like they did last year during the Pandy edition, where a couple movies, I mean, all the Alamos are in pretty close proximity. Like,
yeah.
Why don't do they have leak over screenings? Now, the menu leaked over, like when I saw Don't Worry Darling, it had a Fantastic Fest menu on there.
What do you mean?
They had special food items that were specific to Fantastic Fest, but like no films. So I don't know why then, like, how South by it'll pop up in multiple venues. And last year, like, remember we had to go to the old airport to see found footage phenomenon. Yeah. And then we jumped to the other.
Yeah, I don't think it will. They did have some off-site screenings, but that's just sort of an expansion. And they weren't at other Alamos; they were at AFS.
Oh yeah.
I don't see them doing that. I don't think they want to do that. I think that the vibe is we're all here together, enjoying movies with our friends. That's the vibe that they try to create. I don't think they want people spread out across town, and they also don't want people drinking and driving around town because folks are getting loaded. Folks, and not as much as they used to. Folks used to get way more hammered, and then Me Too happened, so they had to calm down. But like, people are getting hammered, ripped. People are feeling good, and the aroma of stuff is in the air. Folks are in a good mood. I think they want to keep it all there.
Except the smell. Get it out.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a screening with our screen on the roof, and we just pick something random, and it's just like almost like for the smokers.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna go to the roof and smoke, let's just let these two guys go up there and roll stuff all day.
Yeah.
Not roll stuff. Roll stuff on our screen. All right, cool. That is our Fantastic Fest wrap up. So cool. You want to take a quick break and take a quick BRB?
All right. Let me pull up the thing. Sorry.
All right. BRB.
Want a beer? Mm-hmm. You know, this is really an interesting six-pack. See how it's completely covered? See the ends? Covered. Mm-hmm. That's so light won't get in. Light can spoil beer. Mm-hmm. And this is good beer, so they don't want light messing around with it.
Well, in that case, why don't we turn off the lights?
Where are you going? To get a Stroh's. That's about a 200-mile hike through heavy snow. I know. If you think of it, get two. From one beer lover to another's Stroh's.
I don't know what to do. What would you do if you were me? America's got this beer. It's called Stroh's Light, and it's fire brewed. You know, it's not like any other beer. So I call the State Department and say, let's make a trade. Our cigars for your Stroh's Light. They say, Fidel, you're going to have to forget about it.
It's not the same as other lights. It's fire-brewed Stroh's Light.
We're only 90 miles away. We can't even get a decent beer.
On all new releases at Rogers Video.
Hi, Video Sam's got exciting news for you. You can now rent a video overnight and hire these great movies from only 99 cents. But the best news is that by purchasing our special package plan, you can have this VCR absolutely free. Ring now, 892-3311 for details of this amazing offer. You could have a video at home tonight. Remember, 892-3311. Video Sam's libraries are convenient to you.
Movie tonight on video. Movie tonight on video.
You can rent a video player, too. There's a store near you, sweetheart.
Movie tonight on video.
They're helpful and friendly with films for the whole family.
Movie tonight on video. Movie tonight on video.
Okay, you ready? Coming back to our faces.
Coming back to the base in your place. All right, while we're on a quick breaky. Ozzy's Dungeon.
There you go. So when you see VHS, you'll get it.
That sure is
the new
incredible.
VHS.
Let me do the.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Yeah, I had to grab it. Dude, you've taught me so much. I got to tell you, just a shout out to you, because I've learned more in editing in the past year than I ever would have anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's been trial by fire. You know, and I've had you those moments that you literally had to talk me down the cliff because I'm like, why is it doing this? And for the first time after being in technology for 20 years, the shoe was on the other foot. And I was like, man, this is just like so frustrating. And then I watch, you're a fantastic editor. You always do it so fast. You're like, we got to make this meme. And I'm like, cool, I got a couple hours. You're like, we can do it in like 10 minutes. And you're like, boop, 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 boop. And you make it look so easy. But now I feel like I'm able to navigate it a little bit.
Good.
Like, I don't.
That's good. No, you've definitely gotten better, and you got the you picked up Audition pretty quick.
Yeah, that's fun. That I enjoy. I do miss that. And, you know, we've been focusing on the video, but I do like the way you can merge in a lot of the clips. But then you showed me that cool trick with the little lost transmission to hide the
hide the cut. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that works perfect too. So because I never noticed it. I wondered, like, when you're making a film, do you notice this stuff kind of like now I can never not see people calling spots in the ring?
Yeah. Yeah. You'll notice the edits, and you'll start to notice, especially in Marvel stuff, you'll notice it's like, wow, this was just shot on a green screen and crammed in here, or like this reaction was not from the shoot. This is like something they shot after the fact to change the line, and they put it in. You'll start to pick up on those things.
Yeah, you told me that, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, you're right. It's like it becomes very noticeable. Like, oh, here's one of the insert shots that they shot later after a studio note.
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed it today, and then we'll jump into that. We'll use this as our jumping off. This will be our Don't Worry Darling spoiler review. We're going to go in for the spoiler review. Yeah, it's got the funk. It's got the spoiler. So there was something about this film that was very appealing. You know, besides me being a huge mark for Florence Pugh, you know, she's great in, you know, her in the Marvel properties as Yolanda, but she's close to our heart, right? Fighting with my family, with playing Paige, who we're going to talk about later, playing Saraya, sorry. I don't want any heat with her.
Get it right.
This is my name. I love Saraya, so I definitely don't want to piss her off. I think she's great. I'm happy to have her back, and I was happy to have Florence Pugh. I thought she did a great job playing that, because you watched the Fighting with My Family documentary on YouTube, right? That it was based on.
I didn't see it until after the fact, but yeah,
it was really good. So I was excited to see it, and what I was shocked. Let me give you what I didn't like. What I'm gonna give you this face reaction, because I liked it. I liked Don't Worry Darling. What I don't like was the runtime. They probably could have had a more aggressive edit.
What's the runtime?
2 hours and 10 minutes. So
yeah, that's a bit much.
They pulled the gimmick a little bit too much. And then the title. I didn't really the title, because my concern was this is Olivia Wilde, I have no heat with her at all. I was worried that people were going to get distracted and think that this was kind of some kind of woke project, that it was like I don't know, like feminism. I don't know. I don't really understand the woke thing. I got to tell you, I don't get it. I see people talk about it, but I don't really get it. So I feel like they could have nailed this with a better title. And then it didn't matter, because then Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine's penis, and then the game changed anyway.
I loved all those Chris Pine memes
that
were
was
coming
great.
out of that.
Yeah, that was like, why did he? He's like, yeah, remember that time you threw a bloody goat on him?
Yeah.
And they inserted a goat in his face. But so other than that, those are my two notes of what I didn't like. I thought the movie was great. I really enjoyed it. We are going to talk a little bit about a swerve. It was more sexual than I ever expected it to be.
See, I was wondering about that, because I heard that was part of the heat.
Oh, man.
That was part of the heat that Miss Flo and Miss Olivia had with each other. I'm not making those names, that's what they called each other on Twitter or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that they got into it with each other? Well, all I know is she made this very stereotypical 1950s dinner, and then he came home, and he threw her on the table, and she was for dinner, if you know what I mean. And like more than I expected. I was like, whoa. And I had Jack with me, and I was kind of like, and I looked over at him, and he looked at me like, is this really happening right now? Because like it wasn't.
I did hear about that scene.
Yeah, he definitely. So that threw me, and it was like 3 times, dude. We watch her come to climax 3 times in Don't Worry Darling. So I can see why she's not worried. But other than that, dude, so this actually had, if I had to sum this film up, it had clearly it had the Truman Show vibe. You picked up that in the trailer, right? Truman Show. I feel like this is something that Jordan Peele could have played with a little bit. It kind of lived in that neighborhood. Very Twilight Zone, for sure. The performances were great. Harry Styles, I mean, I'm not his audience, so I didn't really know anything about him, but I think he did a great job. Chris Pine played a great, he was going to be a heel. gave to the vibe that he's doing something great. He's doing something great. We're going to start with this victory. It's called victory. We're going to start with this victory community. And then after that, we're going to take over the world. But all you have to do is stay home and please your husband. And then your husband goes to work. And then you just take care of everything. So right now, you're like, okay, is it going to be some kind of weird, the best time in America? And you hear this before, was the 50s when the wife stayed home and the husband went to work.
Sure.
And Alamo leaned into that with their pre-show, just like, do you know how far a woman who stays home, how much? Let's watch it and fast forward technology to show you how hard it was, and most husbands couldn't do it. So they leaned into that wokeness, where I feel like they could have leaned into the other thing, because it started getting into Westworld. I don't think you guys watch the series. You don't watch the series.
I haven't. I mean, I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't seen the second 2.
Yeah, it really started leaning to that. And this is where I'm going to start to tiptoe into the spoilers. So the whole thing is, they say, don't ever go to your husband's office. Do not leave. You can go on the trolley. You can go shopping. But never go when they go to work. In the beginning, when all the husbands left at the same time, all the wives were waving, and the husbands left, and then you just saw them driving in a desert like they were driving to a bunker, and you had no idea what was happening, and then they were just gone all day. So then, of course, one of the wives gets a little bit curious, and she goes out there, and then they start labeling her as crazy, because you're like, you know, the Chris Pine character is like, he's not being honest with us. He's lying to us. He's using us. You know, this is like a cult. And then she kills herself. But when she kills herself, Florence Pugh witnesses it. But then she's like, no, you didn't see that. She just slipped and fell. But it's like, she was on the roof and she cut her throat and then jumped off the roof. Like, no, she slipped and fell. She's quite embarrassed, so she moved.
Really? Wow.
So it gets crazy. So this is where it starts to get, all right, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
This is a big spoiler. This is like, this is going to change it for you.
Okay.
So I'm a little nervous. You know how I get really, look, I'm shaking. I don't like giving away spoilers. But this is what YouTube is for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
this is exactly what YouTube was made for.
So Florence Pugh is in the trolley. She sees a plane crash. And like, do you see that plane crash? And the bus driver's like, I don't see anything. This is not my route. I'm not going over there. And she hops off. She starts running. She runs up to where the husband's office is. She puts her hands. She puts her hands on the glass. A bunch of weird, like that's when you see a bunch of swirly weird stuff. And then she wakes up in bed. So like, what the hell just happened? And then after that, she starts losing her mind, and she starts challenging Chris Pine. So he sees that she's starting to wake up from whatever this reality is. So then they have a dinner party. He comes to the house and she starts challenging them, like, how did you meet? It's like, oh, you met at a train? We met on a train. So they notice that all the couples there have the same story of like how they met, how they got there, what they do for a living. They have the same story. So she loses it, and her husband gets pissed at her. So then Harry Styles, she's like, there's something wrong here. We got to move. And then he's like, okay, we'll move. We'll leave. They get in the car to leave. And then he's like, I'm sorry. And then these people in a red suit come and pull her away. And then they throw her on her table like they're doing electric shock treatment. And then as they're doing the shock treatment, you start flashing to another world where Alice, Florence Pugh character, is a doctor. And Harry Styles is just like this her unemployed boyfriend. And like, what the hell is just happening? Now this is a complete, like, is this like multiverse stuff? But it slowly starts to come out that, here it is. Here's the spoiler. Turn away if you're ready.
Spoil it.
Yep. This is a virtual reality prison for some people, but some people are there by choice. So when they flash to Harry Styles, the Harry Styles character, he's watching a YouTube video called Operation Chaos. And as they're watching the chaos, they're like, you know what? You're just a victim of society. You can't get a job. You're not able to live up your potential. There's so much bullshit in this world. Let me take you to a world where you don't have to deal with the bullshit, and you get to live the life you want to live. But the problem was, he gets to do that, but he wants to bring his wife with her, and she doesn't know. So this doctor, they like kidnap her. She's like chained to a bed Clockwork Orange style with these things over her eyes, feeding her that virtual reality. He's next to her willingly in this reality, and that's when they jump to this 1950s ideal reality. But she was, in the flashback when she was getting shocked, they were showing she's overworked. She worked like massive shifts, and she's like, I only got 4 hours sleep, and I got to go to work in 6 hours. So he thought he was doing her a favor by putting her in this ideal reality, but her real body is shackled in a bed. And then, so all this reality is, some of them are NPCs, some of them are people that are there by choice, and some of them are victims. So a lot of them, the husbands brought their wives there that are basically holding their wives prisoner because it kind of does a mind wipe on you. And you know who's in this? And it's ironic, it's the same dude from WandaVision.
Which dude?
Oh man, I can't think of his name. We'll pull up his face if we can. But he was the one neighbor. He was the shorter guy. Oh, I can't think of his name. But anyway, he was in it. And that's what gave me the WandaVision vibes, because I'm like, oh my God. So here's the thing too. And then you start getting into Freddy Krueger stuff, because so now she realizes that this reality is not real and she's trapped in there. And then she starts finding out the rules that if you die in this reality, you can die in real life. And she accidentally, man, I feel terrible giving these spoilers. I don't know if I want to give any more, but because I feel like I gave a lot.
Yeah.
But she starts figuring out the rules of this reality, and now her whole thing is she has to try to escape this reality, because if they find out she knows the rules, they're going to kill her because they don't want to blow. It's a virtual reality cult is what this is. And so did you get any of that stuff I'm saying?
No, I get it.
From the trailer, though? Did you pick up that that's what was happening?
I mean, it's not overt in the trailer, but I mean, that was where I would be expecting it to go. To something like that. Not necessarily virtual reality, but some kind of Stepford Wives.
Yeah, that's what Mike just said.
Yeah,
Stepford
exactly.
Wives is the Village was. I was expecting the Village. I was expecting okay, they're doing some testing and they want to, if they have to rebuild society, this is what they're going to, the ideal time of bringing back society at this time. But man, it was great. And Florence Pugh she was awesome. She's so good in this. So I don't know what kind of heat. It actually did well. So they think the crotch spit actually did okay. It didn't hurt it.
Yeah, I mean, any PR is good PR.
I think what's going to hurt it is its runtime, because everything I just explained, you find out in the last 30 minutes. So you basically have 90 minutes of them playing, milking this gimmick. They are just, milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it. They were milking the gimmick. And okay, I need you to reveal, because to me, the trailer already was beginning the milking. And now I'm in the film. You got to start leading me to what this is going to be.
Yeah.
And they waited a long time to do that. So I think a different title and a different runtime, and this film, it needs multiple viewings for sure.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff they could have cut. There was a lot of visuals. They went for the wacky visual. They definitely went for art house feel, like when they jumped from different realities, the fake blood splotches, and they had these dancers. They could have, a lot of that could have been cut. But all in all, man, again, I dug this film. I knew something about it I was going to like, but I'm also a huge mark for The Truman Show, and that's the closest comparison. The Truman Show meets WandaVision.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's about where I would have expected it to go. I know this is kind of an unorthodox review because you're just kind of spoiling the movie for me. I know. But honestly, it's just one of those things. I thought it was going to be some sort of Stepford Wives alternate reality kind of a thing. I'll still see it. I'm gonna check it out at some point.
Because I think you can still see it, and even though I kind of told you where it's going, and I know Mike is also he's not an anti-spoiler either. And I think since this is going to take multiple viewings anyway, it's okay. Asif Ali, if you want to Google his name, Asif Ali, he's from WandaVision and plays almost the same exact character in Don't Worry Darling. The same vibe. So maybe that's why I already got... He was in Wrecked, which I loved Wrecked. He was in Wrecked and he was so good in that. But that's why I got that vibe. But I just wish it was a little bit shorter, because if it was a little bit shorter, I'd go see it again in theaters just to kind of like, there's going to be a lot of stuff you catch. Remember watching The Game with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn?
Yeah.
And how fun that was to go back and see the little Easter eggs that they hid in there. I think there's going to be a lot of those in here. But great casting. This cast really was a very, very handsome looking cast for sure. They really did capture that idyllic time. Have you heard like a lot of like, there's a lot of certain generations that believe like that was the peak of America before the hippies, that was the best time.
I mean, that's what Trump said.
That was the best time. And you know what was great? Before, if you go see it at Alamo, they showed the Flintstones commercial pushing Winston's.
Oh, with cigarettes. Yeah, I love that commercial. Was there a lot of smoking in this movie?
There was a ton of smoking in this
I love
movie.
that. I love it when movies have a bunch of smoking. I don't smoke anymore, but I still like seeing it in movies.
Yeah, no, there was a ton of smoking in this movie. So, I don't know. I feel like I think you should go see this in theaters and just be prepared for the runtime.
Yeah, I mean, movies are too long as it is.
Yeah, that's
general.
A big part of this. Is it really just, to me, it was very distracting because I'm like, I'm already ready to know. You already kind of lured me in with the gimmick, and you lured me in with all this stuff. Don't make me wait a little bit longer. And they made me wait a little bit longer than they should have, and it got a little distracting.
Some movies got to be 105 minutes, and that's it. That should be the cutoff.
Yeah.
1 hour, 45 minutes, I think, is plenty of time for you to tell a story. Some can be longer. I get it. You know, you've got epics.
2 hours, 3 minutes is the runtime, not including credits.
Oh, well, that's not so bad.
Yeah, 2 hours, 3 minutes. So let me follow it. Yeah, it did really
But
well.
so 1 hour, 45, I think, is the sweet spot.
Yeah, so it was Alice and Jack Chambers, a young, happy couple in the 50s. And it just really did have that. I was really surprised that this was technically VR. And they still didn't really fully explain how this was a VR.
Yeah.
Like, they showed the gimmicks over the eyes, but, like, if you saw those sex scenes in this movie, you're like, okay, wait, how is everything else getting involved in this? Because you only showed me the eye gimmicks, and you showed me, like, her shackled to her bed.
Yeah.
You didn't show me what happened.
Yeah.
And they kind of didn't explain. So the whole thing is when the husbands go to work, they were actually leaving the virtual reality to go to work in real life to pay this guy, Chris Pine's character, flip the bill to pay for the VR.
I see.
So they really did go to work.
So where did Harry Styles work?
They never said where he worked, but in the flashback, he was unemployed and she was working, and that was bothering him. Mm-hmm. So he's like, you know what? I got to get the job. You need a break. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to brainwash you, chain you to her bed, and make you dream of a perfect life.
Yeah. Something about that seems off to me. I feel like most, even Harry Styles had to be psyched to be married to Florence Pugh, and she's a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
why would you want to go virtual reality on that?
Yeah, he was
just
home.
Stick it out. You don't have a job. You don't even have to work.
Well, he did try to creep up behind her, and she's like, stop. You got to take a shower. I'm tired. He's like, well, in the VR, we're doing it like 3 or 4 times a day. And yeah, they really lean into that too. It's like the neighbor's like, oh yeah, I live next to them. They really like each other. So it was like super like heightened. The sexuality was way more heightened than I expected.
Yeah.
So
is like the social politics of it sound really strong? I mean, it sounds like they're really driving that home.
Well, that's what my
narrative.
concern is. So that's what concerned me is it was clear that the husband characters more than likely kidnapped the wives' character, and they had to take care of them. But there were other characters, and I'm not going to say who because I don't want to spoil it, but there are other characters that are in this reality that are there voluntarily for different reasons. Like Harry Styles was like, oh, I'm not working, I don't have a job, she works too hard, so we're going to flip the script, and she thinks I go to work and she's going to be a homemaker and she's going to be home. But there's other people like, I'm just here because I lost my kids in real life, and now in this reality my kids can be here forever. So her kids are just NPCs. They're NPCs. They're just bots. But she's like, I get to keep them forever here. So some people are there voluntarily. It's not just for the husbands kidnapping the wives, but it felt like there was a big part of that. And that was my concern. I felt like it was going to really distract from what I like the sci-fi aspect of this. I like the Twilight Zone feel, the Jordan Peele feel. I like that. I don't want it to get distracted by any kind of woke agenda. But it was a different time, man. Like you said, smoking was for cartoon characters, and they were telling you how important it was for the wife to stay home and take care of the household and the man to go back and work. I don't think that that's where they're saying now that is the best way to go, but she probably was leaning into, hey, this is how they did it back then. Basically, the wives were prisoners, right? And that's where the whole 60s, the hippies movement, the kids of these self-made prisons, the Leave It to Beaver feel, were like, I'm not going to be that. I do not want to be a prisoner of that. In this movie, they just literally made them prisoners of that.
Yeah, it still seems like a stretch.
It does, right?
Seems like a stretch. Still can't get past the fact that, Harry Styles is married to a beautiful doctor, and he says, no, I'd rather work a shit job and live in virtual reality.
Yeah, and they did go out of their way to, make him in the virtual reality. He was a lot more handsome. He was getting promoted left and right. He had a lot of Brill cream in his hair. He smoked cool cigarettes. They ate, they drank, they had martini parties. It was fun. But in the reality, he had the wool cap on his head. He didn't shave that much. He looked like he was a little beat up. He was, walking around the house, in like Chandler Bing mode where, I'm in sweatpants stage. He, wearing one sock. He definitely looked a little bit more beat up. So it wasn't the doctor that you would think, because they made a point, like when he came home, she's like, you didn't pay the bill again. It's like, how do you know that? Like, the water's not hot. So she wasn't a well-to-do doctor. She was like, she wasn't making a lot of money. So I don't know if she was just like a med student. So, but again.
Still. That's my response. Still.
When you see this, when you see, yeah. Like, look, dude, she looks
She's
great.
definitely got to be the hottest actress. And when I say hottest, I mean like most popular and sought after actress right now.
Yeah.
And she's doing amazing work, and she looks great, and I don't get it. I'm not seeing. I mean, Harry Styles obviously is. What does he do? Is he a singer?
He's a singer, right? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know. It was like, I don't know.
He's a singer? Okay. Well, he's obviously doing. But I'm just saying. It seems just like a leap of logic. But whatever, that's what movies are about. Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, there could have been a little bit more of a. I do agree with you there that they could have gave you a little bit more meat on why. That seems like really, really aggressive to like, oh man, you work really hard. Let me brainwash you and chain you to a bed. That'll stop you from working so hard. So I feel like that could have been. Man, I feel dirty giving these spoilers. I feel like I'm dirty, but I'm kind of glad in a way that I kind of got it set up, because it took forever to get to that point. It really did. I really wish the editor would have been like, Olivia, we got to lose 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the DVDs. We'll put it on the extras. We'll have a director's cut. But I feel like if they would have made this a little bit tighter and a little bit of a different title. Because I get the title, right? Don't worry, darling. Everything's going to be okay. I'm going to chain you into a bed and brainwash you. But it could have been something, I don't know, something along the lines of like what Westworld says. When you say Westworld, it captures maybe they could have left it into like idyllic or something like that, like the Truman Show. It tells a story. The Don't Worry, Darling, I don't think it told the story of what this film was actually going to be.
Did Florence Pugh make this face? Because I feel like this is one of the things that really gets her over, is that she has the best sad face. This is just like if you made a sad Barbie, this would be the face that it made. Ultimate sad face.
Well, when Harry Styles' head was where it was, she was making the complete opposite face.
Oh, right.
And there was another time when they snuck into Chris Pine's room, and there was a lot of people out there, and they did it again. And Chris Pine was like around the corner watching, and like they didn't even stop. So they definitely, like, if this was Total Recall, they had her like all jazzed up, like ready. She was raring to go, and she was too tired in the real world, but she was not too tired in this fantasy world.
Yeah, something about that seems off to me. But I mean, Okay, well, I'll still watch
it. You know how Stepford Wives, I feel like, is somewhat in the universal zeitgeist where you say that and it captures an image. I think this has that. Like this, I tell you, we talk about this on here all the time. There's movies you see in cinema. There's movies you can wait till they're at home. There's movies you don't even have to rent it. Wait till streaming channel shows it for free. I think this is worth a cinema view. I think this is worth a shot in the cinema. There's a lot of beautiful shots. Like the cinematographer in you is going to really enjoy a lot of the choice.
Olivia Wilde, the director.
Yeah,
I mean she seems like she's a good director. Her last movie was really good. So
yeah, that's the only. Like I said, it was more about.
I'm in for the Florence Pugh sad face if it's in there.
She has a lot of different faces in there. So yeah, I think we already gave the face for that, but I really dug it. All right, let's jump. Let's get our Evel Knievel bikes on and let's jump. We're going to jump to. I don't know if Geek Commander's still on. He's the one. He sent this to me earlier, Mike. I don't know if you're still on. If we saw the Last of Us trailer dropped, can we? We can't even play it, right? Because it has music.
We probably should not. We'll get pinged.
Yeah, we will get pinged on it.
And then it's a whole thing to deal with this live stream recording after we get pinged.
Yeah. Yeah, although we found, like I told you earlier, we won.
Months later.
Yeah, months later we won. And I was like, and we're like, we didn't even know there was a fight, but we won, whatever it was. I think it was the Tyson versus Seagal that we showed. I'm pretty sure it was right around that time period.
Seagal gave up, finally.
Yeah. Which he doesn't put anyone over, as you know that.
No. Have you seen that Seagal fight where he is in a chair?
He just fights
He's
someone.
fighting on like a Rolly computer chair. It's like he won't even stand up.
I haven't even saw that.
Yeah, I was trying to see what this copyright claim is, and it doesn't even.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was for. It just said
this is Brock Lesnar seasoning. This is a while ago.
Yeah, it was a bit.
That's when you ate the spoonful of powder. So that I don't know.
That sucked
when
all
that was.
Sucked all the juices out my mouth, but it was good. All right, let's jump to Last of Us. It's the upcoming American post-apocalyptic drama television series set to air on HBO based on the 2013 video game of the same name developed by Naughty Dog. The series will follow Joel, played by Pedro Pascal, the smuggler tasked with escorting the teenage Elle, played by Bella Ramsey, also from Game of Thrones, across a post-apocalyptic United States. It'll feature Gabriel Luna as Joel's younger brother Tommy, Murray Dandridge as the resistance leader Marlene, and Anna Troy as Joel's smuggler partner Tess.
Austin's own Gabriel Luna.
Yes, yeah, he's a local, right?
He's an Austin guy. I actually did a show with him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did a show with him a while back. Beautiful guy in a lot of ways, but you just knew he was a star.
You can just feel
it. He was on the set of this independent film where we're running out of money and running behind. Funny story. There was a scene. The funny story. I won't name names, but there was one scene where we needed a CB radio for a scene for a policeman to use a CB radio. We didn't have it. Props department didn't have it. So I spent like 30 minutes trying to gimmick something, and I used a lavalier and I put a cord on it. I said, "How about this? This looks like it." And then the director was like, "Oh, this could work." And then I saw the props guy run over. He's like, "Got one!" And I was like, "Oh, awesome!" When we're shooting the scene, I was like, "Where'd you get it?" He's like, "18-wheeler parked over there."
He just broke in again.
Yeah. Anyway, he was on that. It was a beautiful. The dude, you knew he was going places. He just stood out.
Oh man, yeah. Wait, is he Y Tu Mama también?
No. He was the new Terminator.
That's right. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I'm. This casting is great. I mean, we already know we're huge marks.
So,
for
you played? Do you play the game?
I'd never played the game. No, I did not play the game. I knew all about the game, but I've never played it. I don't know. It just seemed like. And here's the thing. And I thought the show might struggle to get over because do you remember that it was 10 years ago now, like when we were finally getting a zombie show. It just felt like everything was going the post-apocalyptic route. And it's like in 2022 we've had so many of those types of series, even though this was like an OG one because of the game. Do we really need another one? But that vibe that you captured in here, I felt like I was watching those magical 6 episodes of The Walking Dead. I feel like they really like I've seen the commercials for the game. I've seen people play the game. I watched gameplay of it. And I think this casting nailed it so well. And then the vibe that we're always talking about creating a vibe here.
Yeah.
They created that vibe so well that I think it's going to the stars are going to align, and this is going to be a huge hit for HBO.
I disagree.
You don't think it's going to be a big one?
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so because I think I feel like we might be at the end of the road for these post-apocalyptic type things.
There's been a lot. I do agree with that. There's been a ton.
And when you add to the fact that we kind of lived through a post-apocalyptic thing recently, I don't think folks are going to be into seeing that again. I think that there was when Walking Dead came out, it was new, it was innovative and felt fresh. And we're like, oh, and it created that whole vibe of what would you do if the world ended? You know what I mean? And now we know. So it's just like, I honestly, I see this trailer and I have zero interest in watching this. Yeah, I do not. I have no interest in watching this at all. I feel like at the beginning of Little Women, where she says something about I like to write tales of joy because I've lived many sad tales. Okay? And I'm just like, I have no interest in this. I've never played the game. I'm not interested in the end of the world anymore.
Yeah.
I would like the world to go on. Yeah. And I'd like to see movies about that. So that's my take on it. I maybe it's going to be good. I'm sure. I mean, HBO does quality stuff.
Yeah.
So, but the end of the world does not interest me anymore.
You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
No, and look, that's fair. I have that same gripe with anything that has to do with like realistic serial killers. I like my serial killers to be fake.
Exactly, right.
So I do get what you're saying there. But I still just feel like there's just going to be something different about this with the right casting and the right show.
I love Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, he's probably one of my favorite actors working today. Everything he does, I've liked. The last Nicolas Cage, what is it? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh yeah,
I told you that he was
the show.
He's a star in that.
How do you steal the show from Nicolas Cage when Nicolas Cage is the star?
Exactly,
and he did.
And he's the Mandalorian. He was probably one of the better parts of the Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah,
he's great. He's great.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't know that I want to see another end of the world show.
Here's going to be the take. I think we just diagnosed what's happening here, and this is why. Remember, Walking Dead fell off when Negan clocked 2 characters, one being Glenn, even though Glenn did get clocked in the comic book. Hope was lost. And you're right, we spent the last 2 years being hopeless. So if you're going to have an apocalyptic story, you better maintain hope. You better maintain hope that just sticks with you. Yeah. Another HBO show that I'm going to quote, one of their best shows that's been lost to time, 6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
And it was one of the great quote when the mother was giving the daughter advice. And she's like, hold on to hope as long as you can. Because we know that feeling of being hopeless and it hurts. And now we got to experience that IRL. We don't necessarily want that in their entertainment. So I totally respect your opinion on that. And I'm hoping, again, there's that word again, hoping that they are going to find a way to maintain that Pedro Pascal magic, that there's going to be hope that whether it's just going to be to transport this character or to find the other side. When they start whacking characters and you start feeling hopeless that nobody's safe, I feel like that's a bad move. And I feel like a lot of people do that and they just do that for the gimmick. They do that, for hotshot booking, but they don't realize that you still need some hope. It's okay to have some surprises in there. So maybe this is how that's going to win your show. Are you going to wait then you're watch it, or you're not going to watch it, or you're going to watch the
I'm going to watch it. But I'm that much of a mark for entertainment that I will watch it. You know what I mean? I'm every movie that comes through the cycle, I'll be like, I don't really want to see that. But then Friday hits and the reviews start dropping. I'm like, well, I better go see it. It's the new movie for the week. It's just that I'm going to watch it and I'm going to give it a chance. If I lose interest, I lose interest. Yeah. Maybe it'll be good. I think for me, if it leans into horror more than just despair, that's going to be good. If it leans into we are. I don't know I don't know what happens in the game at all. So, but I mean, my hope is that it's a little bit more of we're surviving, we're in this war against monsters, and less of humans are the real monsters.
Yeah, that I didn't like.
Because
I feel like that's when Walking Dead lost their lot
that,
of art.
and that's sort of the classic trope of every zombie movie. So that's fine. I get it. And when George Romero did it in all his movies, I get it. And it's commentary, it's whatever. But it's just like, like you said, I don't want, I'm tired of watching that right now.
Yeah.
I'd like to have some hope. And, we know humans are monsters. We see, all you got to do is open any social media app.
Right.
It's like, we get it. So maybe just, maybe give us something to hang on to here. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my take.
No, that's good. And, having this dystopian future when you came so close to having a dystopian future.
Yeah.
And when it rings true with 1999, the peak of your civilization kind of rings in your head, right?
Yeah.
Because things started changing then. Yeah. Even. So I can see that. I totally get it.
If there's a scene in it where people are fighting over toilet paper, I'm out.
Yeah. That's good. That's fair. That is totally fair. But it is HBO, so I think it's in good hands. Even more so than any. Because you're watching, what's your go-to show right now that you're watching?
I still haven't finished Cobra Kai.
Oh wow!
I was binging it, and then I fell asleep, and I missed the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay.
And then I got locked out of Netflix, so I got to come back to that. They're strict on that now, man. They're not letting
really
you share
strict.
that password.
I've been getting calls.
And you're like, Mario, why don't you just get a Netflix account? I can't, because then I don't remember what episode I was on. I got to get back into the account I was in. Anyway, but I was enjoying it. I think it's nearing the end of its run, so it's good. Let's wrap it up one more season.
I don't know how many more seasons they can go.
I think they're gonna book one more. I think that's it.
I think they got booked to do 2 other shows, so they're already talking about how you're gonna squeeze Cobra Kai in.
Yeah, I think they said those filmmakers said they have a 6-episode plan. 6-season plan.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I don't I'll watch it, but I feel like that's a good solid Lost. You know, that's that 6-season arc.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching, so I was trying to think of what's hooking me in right now. And we talked about this, and Lee, we haven't seen Lee in a bit. I like when he called in angry and said you got to watch from the beginning. House of the Dragon.
Well, how's House of the Dragon doing?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's everything that was great about Game of Thrones before they made that hard right. They're maintaining that, even with a 10-year time jump in there, which is really risky of being confusing when you have a time jump and you're like, wait, okay, which character is this now? That's the same character, but now she's 10 years older. So this was the first episode that jumped into that. So they were doing a really good job with that. What took a little while for me to get pulled in, and I'm still not sold if I liked it or if I'm still along just for the journey, is The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. I've been watching that one. It was very slow in the beginning.
I have not seen a single episode of that.
Yeah, it was very slow in the beginning. It's finally starting to see where it's going to go. But then I always felt like the movies were all like that too. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go along with this Harfoot journey.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying. I watch it. It's just like, okay, yeah. I'm a completionist too. If I started it, I feel like I have to finish it. I have a really hard time abandoning shows.
Yeah. No, I feel you there.
And then your instinct was right. Notice I haven't talked about She-Hulk in a while. It slowly has. I thought the first episodes that everyone disliked were strong, and they're getting more into definitely the Ally McBeal space, full on Ally McBeal, and it's fine. But it's you're not gonna do a watch along at 2 a.m. for the latest episode of Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I'm still a mark for her. I had high hopes that she's gonna be part of the films, but I was just trying to. And then Andor.
Oh, I didn't even start Andor.
Andor, the first 2 episodes were all billed. But so I'll just tell you, without giving you any spoilers, just this from the writers in us, that first 10 minutes, they have the inciting incident, but that incident shows that this is not the Star Wars you expect. This is the Rogue One universe. This is not don't look for silly comedy, don't look for the stuff to kind of be cheeky. This is that gritty 1970s universe, and it built up to the episode 3, and that's why they dropped 3. But that 3rd episode was great. I think you're really gonna like that. I think we got to get Wayne Wikipedia back in here and do that. And Brian, I don't know if you're still on Geek Commander. If you watch, I don't know if Mike watched it or JJ. I don't know who's watched it, but I finally got around to watching it on Friday and did boom, 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 back to back to back. And that third episode was the strongest. So I can see why they're like, okay, let's get the build up out of the way and get right back into the pew pew. Now, my favorite part of Star Wars is very rarely the wars. I like the Force. I like the metaphysical.
You prefer the stars.
Yes, I prefer the stars over the wars. But this, make no mistake, this is the wars. So, but I think you're going to dig it. You liked Rogue One?
Rogue One was good.
Yeah. If you like Rogue One, you're in business.
Yeah, I'll catch it at some point. I don't even, I don't know where all my time to watch stuff went.
Well, I was saying the other day how far I would be behind shows if I didn't have my Bose headphones and my iPad to walk around and do 3 other things while I'm watching a show.
Yeah.
There's only a few shows that I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit on the couch, turn on my colored lighting and watch the show. There's a lot of shows that I'm like, I'm going to walk and watch. I do a lot of walking watches.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, that's
a good. I mean, I should try that. I should do some walking watches.
Yeah, because you can be cleaning, like I'll empty dishes and I'll put it up on the dish gimmick where you can leave them to dry. I'll put the iPad in there and I'll watch a lot of those shows.
I am finding watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm finding as I communicate with more folks that they're all also watching nothing but YouTube.
Yeah,
I think everyone's getting pulled into that. We're on YouTube now. Yeah. Is this?
That's this.
Yeah, I mark out when I'm on my YouTube feed and I see us come through. It's like, oh look, we're on YouTube. But
we got distribution.
Exactly,
we did it.
Just need a face for the box. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I want to put something on and just have it on so I can pay half attention. She-Hulk it's weird.
Oh, you can pay half attention with that. And be
that's
totally
the thing,
okay.
though. It's like I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't feel like a completist where it's like I gotta watch it because there's some I liked Ally McBeal when it was on. Yeah. I thought it was a good show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Different times.
Yeah, different times. It was a good show. I mean, it was innovative at the time. It had the dancing baby.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
Uga Chaka.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I want to enjoy it, but the thing about Marvel that I think we've all come to understand, even though they don't put it out there, is they're really changing the shows last minute. They're changing all their stuff last minute.
Yeah,
like they're reshooting Black Panther right now.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So it's like they're always doing that, and that's why the effects are always unfinished. And it's especially in the shows, it seems obvious when it's like, we need to save some money on CGI, so let's do an episode where she's not Hulk.
Yeah, and that's what this last episode was.
That'll get over. That's what folks want. In the show called She-Hulk, they want to see not She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'll give you the spoiler. This last episode was called Just Jen.
No, I started it. I was watching it.
Oh, so you know.
But I didn't get through all of it. And it's short. And I just kind of like...
That's the other thing. They're very short. Yeah, Mike said he watches YouTube more and more than anything else because you can't beat the autoplay and fresh daily content that you don't really get. It just autoplays and feeds you into the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why Mike said I've been able to keep up movies going all the way at home lately. So hard to commit to the garbage they make these.
Yeah, I know, and that's why
contextually
I got to get to the theater to watch a movie because that's what's going to settle me down to focus on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's just the distractions. I need to see a lot of stuff in theaters, and I've pretty much been going once a week for I can't even think of how long. Since we stopped,
Dude,
I need that non-distraction.
Me too. So for as long as since I was able to take the bus by myself as a kid to the theater, and then when the pandy happened and no movies for a year was wild.
Oh yeah.
I tried to explain to people how strange this was for me, and I think the majority of people go a couple times a year to the movies.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't even imagine that. I drove by the theater and I'd get choked up. I can't believe that I'm not going in there right now.
Yeah.
But they were closed. There was you really couldn't do it. The smell of popcorn, Video Archives when he was talking about their bad popcorn, how it's that first 20 minutes, it creates that feeling all right, we're about to watch something. We're about to consume popcorn and a movie.
Yes.
So it created that vibe.
The trailers, I mean, there used to be a point in life when I would not stay for the movie if I missed the trailers.
Me too. Yeah, I guess I was like, oh, well, already missed it. Like, what are you talking about? You
let's
got
go to the
20
next show. Let's just wait for the next show. I got to see the trailers.
And we time it. Cinemark, AMC, it's 23 minutes worth of commercials and trailers. Alamo is 10 to 12 minutes. So
Alamo plays the right amount of trailers. You don't need all that.
Yeah, it's way too many trailers.
You can also watch the trailers on your phone afterwards or on the way now. So
yeah,
it's different. But yeah, so the movie theater experience is big for me, and it's gonna be a bummer when things change, because like I don't know if you've heard, and I bet Mike can speak to this, Mike the industry. I've been hearing that like movie theaters and like this whole industry of just movie theaters is on the verge of collapse.
Yeah, I hate that.
And for multiple reasons, but one being that just the way they just, man, I got to find the thread. There was just some sort of ruling that they changed how that movie theaters and movie studios, they used to have to be separate, but now they don't have to be anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They changed like some kind of law, and apparently now the entire system is on the verge of collapse.
Oh, I hate to hear that.
So and now it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Everything can go right to streaming for the $10 a month. And like, unless the movie theater experience becomes more niche and, like Alamo Drafthouse, where it's like you get a bar, it's a bar and a movie theater, we might be losing all that.
Yeah, and that's terrifying. I think you need to have that night out, but you think it's going to turn into like a night out, like going to a play, right? Like everyone thought movie theaters were going to kill, Broadway and plays, but now that's obviously, it's very niche. That's like a night out, even though it has its special moments. Opening the door for the private karaoke room movie theaters, Dos Incredibles Lounge.
Boom. And we're gonna do memberships.
Yeah, memberships have its privileges.
Get a monthly membership to come through.
Yeah, you got a seat. We can get you. It'll literally just be your seat.
Yeah.
No matter what we're doing for that night. All right, got one more. House Show Dark. We don't want to leave this out because it was such an important part of the pro wrestling landscape. Was last week while we were here live, formerly known as Paige, Saraya debuted in AEW, and she's been all over Twitter all week, whether it's the pronunciation of her name. Oh, there's a quick movie quote. Did you get that? Where did you get the pronunciation? Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm. Popeye.
Popeye, yes. Ding. So great. Robin Williams. But getting out, whether it's talking about her name, and then a lot of people saying, well, hasn't been medically cleared to wrestle, so she's probably just going to be a personality there. And then she tweeted, "Don't believe everything you read on the internet. I'll see you next Wednesday," was her reply to that. And she also said, "Hi, Jamie Hayter." So I think I think she is big enough that her debut match should be a pay-per-view versus just on Dynamite. But what are your feelings on that?
I mean, definitely. Why would they not, right?
Yeah.
I think, what's the next pay-per-view? Full Gear?
Full Gear.
Oh my gosh. Has it been a year since I was at Full Gear last year.
Yeah, you were there last year.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It should be a Full Gear pay-per-view. I'm sure they can do a few spots to build it, but...
I want to pay to see her. I probably wasn't going to buy Full Gear just because besides the scrum ride from hell, like that was the most entertaining part of the last pay-per-view. I mean, it was good card top to bottom, but like I still want to, if I'm going to drop that kind of cash, it needs to be something special. And WWE they're no different. Saraya going back in the ring is going to get my money.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it.
And then against Jamie Hayter? Come on.
Yeah.
Take my money now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that I love that being against Jamie. I'd like to see her go against somebody. I really like Jamie Hayter, and I want her to start winning some matches. But,
you don't want her to get fed.
Yeah.
Because she has to go over. Because look, I feel like we've been talking about this is Britt needed some kind of competition, and that's why we're like, bring some Mercedes in, which now it's not looking like. So this is probably, who were the other free agent women out there that could get this type of attention? Was Punk's wife, right? April Brooks, AJ Lee, and Paige. Those were the other two that can pull that kind of stuff besides Sasha.
Yeah.
To pull those eyes. I think if the rumor is CM Punk may not be coming back to AEW, which would be a shame. If we lose that, it would be a huge shame. And one of the reasons it would be a huge shame because that means there's no chance we'll ever get that AJ Lee return to the ring.
Well, there's a couple reasons for that. I heard not just because of the Scrum Ride from Hell, which is a big one, but also he's pretty injured, and it's pretty much going to be the duration of the rest of his contract that he's out for.
Oh, really?
So they might just say, okay, then that's going to be that. I think they said that they're predicting he'd come back with like a month or two left on his contract, and they were like, well, we might just go ahead and cancel the whole thing.
Well, Mike says feeder Serena Deeb in the first.
I like that. I like that.
Jobber. Yeah, I can buy that. Do you think now that there's going to be less of a reliance on that CM Punk name draw that they drew $1 million gate at that Grand Slam show without Punk on there? It also didn't have the Bucks on there. It didn't have, so what was the draw of that? Are they getting to that WWE stage where the draw is the show, not one specific person?
Well, look, every AEW pay-per-view before CM Punk came on board and up through after he came on board had my money easily. And I'm talking when the main event was Jericho and Paige or something, it was back when AEW had 8 people on their roster.
Pineapple Pete.
Yeah, Pineapple Pete.
I miss it.
It was such a happy time.
It was. It really was.
It was just a really beautiful time for pro wrestling. And I think now things have happened. Things have transpired. We've seen how things can go wrong for your favorite wrestling company. Can they get that magic back? I don't know. Maybe ditching or letting some of this name talent go is what they got to do, and get back to basics, get back to creativity and creating storylines and matches with, smaller folks, lesser names,
Yeah.
They've still got, I don't know if ROH is going to be a show. It seems like that's what they're going to do with Jericho.
Got the belt. Yeah.
Jericho got the belt. So it makes sense that he would go to ROH and be the first champ there. Why not? If you're trying to get a TV deal, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, put Jericho.
Dude walked right by me. Man, he's not tall.
No, he's a larger than life character without having the height.
He's not tall. Man, what a night. Anyway,
yeah.
So I would love to see them go back to just building stories. Like I think the best. I think it's debatable, but to me the best CM Punk feud was with Eddie Kingston, and they built that in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, because it felt real. You were able to suspend your belief because there was
CM Punk was getting his feelings hurt the whole time.
Yeah,
but like Eddie Kingston maybe should have got his feelings hurt. I feel like they were more insulting to him, and he took it.
Yeah.
Do you think CM Punk's career will recover? His name will recover? Is this it? I saw a meme that somebody posted, and I think it was the most accurate meme ever made about anything. It was two pictures of CM Punk, him doing the pipe bomb and him doing the scrum, and it said the line from Dark Knight: you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Oh yeah, I did see that,
and I was like, man, that's kind of right on the money.
Yeah, it was scarily accurate there. Yeah. No, because I don't know where there's nowhere else for him to go. I mean, he can go to Japan. And probably as he can make a living, but as far as like a household name, the way to make the money here would be to stay in AEW and become a heel. Because, like you said, you probably if he lost some of his fan base, then they need to lean into that and make money, and they need to bring him back as a heel. If you want to make him a heel manager, since he can't work, if he's physically hurt, if you bring back like a straight edge society. As a heel group, I think that would still work, right? Hogan hardly worked when a lot of NWO break. He was able to take a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
The only other thing that's going to get Punk the type of press that's going to keep him so elevated, because he was elevated in WWE, he was elevated in his UFC fights because it was a big deal, and then his AEW return. The only other thing that's going to capture that is him mending fences with Triple H and accepting a spot in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Other than that, like for making money, he's going to lean into his acting career or go to Japan. But I would hate for the career to end like this. Like he was an important part of the industry, so I'd hate to think that it could end on a sour note like this. You don't want him to go out like that.
It might be, and the way Mike says, kind of feels like MJF is make it or break it right now. Yeah, it's true.
He got thrust into the flame quick because they're like,
he
fine,
knows
you're
it.
getting
He
over.
knows it.
Yeah,
he knows exactly how much power he holds right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that CM Punk, the more, we got some distance with it now. I think if you revisit that scrum and listen to some of the things he said, it's kind of unacceptable. And it's just, some of the things he said are just kind of so inappropriate with his boss sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any, they would even bring him back as a heel because they took a very HR approach to the whole thing where it's just like everybody involved is going on suspension until we figure it out. This wasn't like, Wayne the Pro Wrestler was talking about where things might get, things that, a fight in the back would get settled in the back and nobody would hear about it.
Right.
This was like, Tony Khan's like, I got to call the HR department. I got to call, whatever, Warner. Because I'm sure he has a big company.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to even, I think they're just going to sweep it under the rug and move on. It's it. CM Punk, you can't even come collect your stuff. We will put it in a box and mail it to you.
Oof.
You know what I mean?
Old WWE.
Yeah. Well, hey, that was the last time I got sent home.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you leave right now and we'll mail you stuff from your desk. And some stuff was missing, which is crazy. But anyway.
Yeah, Mike was bringing up, it feels like he stopped evolving and his frustration when not being able to be the guy came through. Yeah, he was definitely frustrated. You can feel that frustration in there as well. Yeah, I don't know. But I think AEW, to go back onto that, I don't feel like they need Punk anymore. He elevated them, and he got them Tony Khan got his money's worth. CM Punk elevated everything, the good, the bad, everything. He brought the spotlight on it. But now bringing in Saraya, and I think that, and still having a very strong house and still getting strong ratings, it does show. And Mike, jumping back a little bit, and Mario talking about this, you can build shows around guys now that you have you can make stars. You don't have to just keep taking stars. You can make stars. You can see the taking stars doesn't always work, but you can make stars. And that's exactly why we were so disappointed, that feeling in our stomach when Orange Cassidy and Best Friends didn't get the trios belt, because that was your opportunity to make stars that were already on the verge of being stars for you.
Yeah.
So then when someone like Saraya comes in, you're going to get the rub. You made Britt Baker a star, or she made herself, you gave her the platform to become a star on your show. And it was a big deal when Saraya came down there and you knew she was going right after the #1 women's wrestler there, Britt Baker, whether she has the belt or not. She was coming for her. And that was a big deal. And if you do that with other stars, then when you bring in people, they're not so reliant. You got to have the rub. TNA did the rub. Samoa Joe went before he was as over. It was a big deal. They were getting him and AJ Styles over in TNA. And then when Kurt Angle faced Samoa Joe, it was a big deal because the star you made versus the star you bought. And they collided. And then you got the rub from that. So I'm excited to see her. It's still, I would sign, who I miss? I'd like to see Emma come back. She was so over.
Is she hurt?
Heel Emma.
Is she hurt?
I don't know. Iconics, those were other, there's a lot of women out there that you can do the rub to get these other women, because you got Chris Statlander, she's hurt. Jamie Hayter, they have Sharita, that like her stuff is feels like it's getting better by the day. Start mixing these in there and using that to grow your division, the stars you make versus the star, and let Saraya be the first foray into that. Lean in heavily into because WWE is coming back for their crown and they're doing well. And when they announced, you got Michael Cole talking about people's independent wrestling career. He's calling them out by name. You got War Games that's going to be on Survivor Series. Man, they're not playing games. And now's not your time to let this whole scrum ride from hell. I thought it was a great hiring Saraya. Now you need to start building. You need to start fortifying because they're coming for you.
Well, they need to book the women's division well.
Yeah.
Right now, that's a struggle for them. So what are they going to do with Saraya? What is going to be her storyline? Where is she going to go?
I mean, to me, it's just like that natural. It can't be the first match, but you're building up to that Britt Baker showdown. I feel like that's going to be the first match, because that match doesn't even need a belt. And if you plan on keeping that belt off of Britt longer, what better way to get them both over than to have those two, the number one WWE female versus the number one for the longest time AEW female.
Yeah.
That's a match without the belt. It sucks. You know who gets hurt in that scenario? The belts. Because now you got the two top people and the belts aren't even involved.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to see Paige or Saraya versus Toni Storm. I don't know if that has any, but I feel like Toni Storm is already in that spot that Thunder was in. Like, what are you going to do with her? What are you going to do with her now that she has the belt?
She got it too fast, in my opinion. But I mean, I guess
I would have I would have had Ruby come in all scrappy, and just like, I came here to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I think that Ruby would have been had a good run. I think Jamie Hayter, they could have done something with her. I think they're really trying to pull in eyes, but they're trying to buy eyes.
Yeah.
Instead of actually entice folks. I think Ruby would have been a great champ.
I wanted her. She would have been my favorite.
I think, Jamie Hayter, I think, was just poised to have a great storyline. And with that storyline, you can have Britt involved, and it elevates that, right?
Yeah, she gives her Britt gives her the rub. Yeah. That's a good point. And Britt could be like, no, I want you to have the belt.
Yeah.
But you don't even do it immediately. Like, you just show a little bit of jealousy. But in the beginning, oh, man, and this harkens all the way back to Macho Man Randy Savage when Honky Tonk Man stole the belt from Steamboat. The first person to congratulate the Honky Tonk Man was Macho Man, and it was before his babyface turn. And he's like, I knew you can do it, and he was basically, you got the revenge that from me losing at WrestleMania 3, knowing that it was going to lead into one of the best feuds the Honky Tonk Man had, turning Macho Man babyface and setting him up for his world title run. You could have had a version of that with Britt. Britt could have been very congratulatory, right? So she could have still had her run with Saraya and still been a mentor to Jamie. Like, I've done this. Let me show you how it's done. It would have. You're right. It would have gave her the rub. It would have elevated them.
Yeah, and now we've got Toni Storm as the champ. And like you said, her gimmick is pretty much that she has an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So
it's
even with Thunder Rosa, who did not have a great run, I think she was still a draw because she had the Latinx community behind her. She had a cool gimmick that she came in. She was Ultimate Warrior, face paint, whatever, cool entrance music, and now Toni Storm is just another blonde lady. It's not working for me, and I think that I don't know what's going wrong. Is it Tony Khan being too much of a mark? Does he need to get some real bookers in there at this point? Has he run out of ideas? Everybody runs out of ideas. There's no shame. But is he trying to please the money folks that will give him a TV deal? I'm not sure what's going wrong, but it really feels like, like you said, all the titles are suffering right now.
Yeah. What titles are really over right now? Besides, I think the world title's over.
That's the only one.
But I feel like a lot of how did people feel about Mox getting?
Who
the belt
even
over?
has the TNT belt? You have to think about it.
Oh my gosh, who does have that?
Wardlow.
Wardlow has it. That's right.
Like nobody, like it's that belt's doing nothing.
Wow, I completely forgot Wardlow had that. Well, and I know they gave him a match, and it was somewhat of a semi-squash, and he was like, I'm here to tell you that, the rumors aren't true, that I'm not losing steam, but it has nothing to do with his work rate of why he's losing steam. You just need personal issues, pal, compelling storytelling, pal. That's what we need, and that doesn't come from Wardlow. That comes from creative, and then with help of Wardlow to get that over. And that's going to be true with every belt. So I think having Saraya, like having those people in there, you got these great minds. Let's use them. But
cheers.
Yes, we'll find out. We'll find out Wednesday what she has to say. But wrestling, the wars continue. The wars continue on because the Wednesday night wars, everyone thought it was over.
Yeah.
And now there's no show that are going head to head. But make no mistake, I think I would have never. Would you have guessed this time last year that WWE would have took such a big leap in the direction of now they're getting more positive spin than...
No. About this time last year, I was telling Lucha Lottie on a whim, is like, we should just go to the next pay-per-view. Let's just go. That's how excited... This is what Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole had just
had
appeared.
Their 1 hour match.
CM Punk had just had his first match.
Yeah.
It was so hot that I got tickets to go to Minnesota to go watch the pay-per-view and eat a Juicy Lucy. Do you know about a Juicy Lucy?
Oh, I've seen the Juicy Lucy's. I've never had one.
That's what I got recommended to go eat in Minnesota. It's a hamburger with cheese in it. All right, it's all right.
And there's two dueling places, right, that will probably come up with the original.
So, but now you are saying that you might not even buy the pay-per-view. So it's been a big... It's been a big...
And now we got Royal Rumble in San Antonio. And
winter tickets going on sale for that.
Soon. I don't know. When will
we should have a contest. Let's buy an extra ticket, and one of our viewers can go with us.
There you go. Okay, I'm down. Because if for the first time I was like, ooh, that might be compelling to go to. That might be really compelling to go to, because now we get to see, look what Triple H did for SummerSlam. And now you already know Extreme Rules looks like it's going to, I bet you they're going to pull out all the stops, but Survivor Series, they're bringing it. I told you, remember, to bring back the teams? And he's like, not only am I bringing back the teams, but the teams of 5 that strive to survive, they are going to have to survive in War Games. I can imagine War Games, the match beyond, is going to be on the Survivor Series. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, San Antonio is a fun wrestling town. I think it'll be a good vibe, and Royal Rumble's always been my favorite WWE pay-per-view. So. Remember
when Vince turned Royal Rumble heel for so many years, and people were just like...
Well, that's the thing. When Vince was in charge and AEW was on the rise, they were like, oh, they might actually win this war.
Yeah, I know.
And then, year later, Vince is gone. Triple H is back in charge. Now folks are jumping ship on AEW to go back.
Yeah, right. There's another rumor that... Buddy Matthews is taking a break, and the whole thing about now there's a lot of people like, now that Triple H is running things, that they want to go back.
Yeah.
Which is amazing to think that Vince was really ruining his own company that bad, that it just doing his... And I honestly thought that he was just going to be booking from the phone. But it's clear that he is not booking any of this.
Yeah.
He's booking nothing. He really is done. Like, he really is retired.
Yeah.
And it shows. And now you got a fresh Triple H who was part of the Monday Night Wars, and he knows what needs to be done to win the war. He's not going to be, we're on top. And look, I don't think there's going to be one company that's going to put another one over. But make no mistake, there's people who see that there's the big time show and then the rest of the shows.
Yeah.
And AEW was close to being like, wow, they're going to be like WCW.
Yeah.
And now, unfortunately, they might be like WCW.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the thing. Are they going to clean house? I feel like they might have been headed in that direction, but are they going to course correct now? And is Tony Khan, is he going to be satisfied, resigned to say, okay, we're the number 2 wrestling company.
Yeah.
Let's be the number 2 wrestling company. Because I tell you what, when he said in the media scrum, when he was there was that one point towards the end where he was by himself and he was complaining about WWE having 2 pay-per-views on the same weekend as All Out, and he was like, I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Oh yeah, he
like
did.
that was a strange moment. I'm just
was.
like, no, you're gonna have to dial that back.
Yeah.
I think that you're gonna have to be content to be number 2 and go with that and try and draw eyes and get an audience and get to 1 million every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hit your numbers.
Yeah, hit your numbers.
You're not gonna beat Amazon.
No. No.
Sorry, you're not going to beat Amazon.
And they got this far by not competing.
Exactly.
So don't start competing now.
Yeah.
Because like Mike said, AEW is suffering from that debut, Saraya debut being the best part. So basically a WWE star showing up actually is the best part of your show. That's problematic.
Yeah.
That can't be. It needed to be Saraya, and I think they needed to do a nose-to-nose stare down to let him know, but her nose was bleeding pretty bad, so maybe that's
that's unsafe.
So, all right, brother. I think that's a show. It feels like a show, right?
Yeah, it feels like a show.
A Monday night house show live after dark. We're going to be off the air next week. We'll still be dropping content, but we will not be doing a live show. A lot of shoots and travels all over. How many different places we're going to be? All the places we'll go. So,
the places will go?
Yes, all the places will go. So we're going to be all over. But we will be back on our favorite month. So I believe our next live show will be on October 12th. Coming hot out of the gate for some Halloween content. We're going to try to book some. We're going to try some collabs with some other YouTubers to celebrate the month that
got
is
Halloween
horror.
coming up.
Thanks
for tuning in, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
We'll talk soon.
Yes. Oh, Mike, yeah, we definitely good luck with the shoots and travels. Yes, and we need to. Yeah, Mike, we need to talk. I pitched that show. Maybe we'll decide if we ever want to put it in the air. But that 6-episode podcast for Mike is going to be straight up fire. So I was trying to give us a new call signal for our off. So I was thinking. Dose is 2, and this looks like an I. Can we start a hand symbol? That means it's Dose Incredibles. Dose 1. So, how do you say adios, peace out, luchadors? We'll see you on YouTube very soon.